This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that fire. Got my boy Tom Ross TV, aka Tom Ross TV Raw, in the building. Tom Ross, what's up, man? How you doing today, bro?
What's up, man? It's Tom Ross TV. We're here to separate the weak from the strong. We got a lot of hot topics. We got some personal topics to get off our chest, to sit back and relax, man. Pour you up a drink, and let's get into it.
Yep.
See, I got my
Yeah,
trademark cigar.
there you go.
Yeah.
I'm glad he said pour you a drink. I'm glad he said grab you a cigar, because like we said, we got some hot pocket topics. But first and foremost, man, we got to get into this Q&A because there's something very disturbing that happened. YouTube flagged not only one channel of yours, they flagged both of your channels, Tom Ross TV Raw and Tom Ross TV. Tom Ross, my first question to you is, why do you believe both channels were flagged?
Well, I think it's the topics I've chosen to delve into and the way I've chosen to delve into them. One of them being how the LDBC handles PBC fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And another one on another spectrum is how I'm attacking the Snowfall series and how I'm attacking the Atlanta series, and I'm doing it at a level so quick and so fast to the competition's getting upset. Because after I did one video about the LDBC, Tom Ross TV got attacked.
Wow.
After I went on my onslaught with the Snowfall in the Atlanta, Tom Ross TV Raw got attacked. But I feel like when you're on your way to greatness, these things come with the territory. They come with the territory, man.
Wow. So my second question, which you basically kind of covered in the first one, is do you believe that because of the flags and because of how the flags happen back to back, it is these major conglomerates, the LDBC and the major conglomerates of haters? Because let's be honest here, there's a guy by the name of D. Jefferson who has Speak Your Mind Sports Talk that you lapped up. And right now, we're doing the math. You're almost 2,000 subscribers ahead of him. And I remember there was a time where he said you were an idiot. And there was a time that he said that you would never pass him up. And then we have situations where there are a bunch of people that jump ships with him that are probably regretting. They've said, Tom Ross TV, man, I don't know why you have him on your channel. I think everybody's now paying attention and they're seeing the reason why. Do you believe that these conglomerates are the reason why your channel is flagged?
You know what? I have no proof of it. But you know me, I like to go off proof before I, you know what I mean, if I put a label on someone. But I just feel like it's very coincidental. It's very coincidental that I started reaching certain marginal success and immediately started reaching certain having certain pitfalls and certain bumps in the road as soon as I reached that marginal success. So I find it very coincidental, but I don't have the proof, so to speak.
Interesting. And I just want to piggyback in the third question based on the second question, because let's be honest. You said initially in your first question that, and the answer you gave was that you believe that these entities, once you started dropping videos, there was a connection where Tom Ross TV got flagged when you made a video about the LDBC. And then Tom Ross TV Raw got flagged when you started talking about basically your people and you started really getting this success on Snowfall. I mean, you just dropped the Snowfall video the other day, and I'm talking about within hours, you're already at 22,000 views. These are things that successful channels that have 100K subscribers and up get like that. Do you honestly believe that people are afraid of how fast your success has amassed? I mean, you got 1 million views in a calendar month, and right now you're getting ready to become basically quadruple platinum. So you tell me, man. I mean, what do you think?
like I said, I don't have any proof, so I can't say, oh, these guys are hating, these guys are not. Because once you say that, you're on record. All I can say is I find it mighty coincidental that after you made the video of, hey man, I chose the right guy to partner with because this guy's succeeding, and you guys counted him out, and come to find out, I made the right choice. 2 days later, I was flagged on that channel.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? On this channel, not only do I cover a snowfall, but I spin the cover of snowfall, and when I do my commentary on it, I show how the mindset, how people look at it. It depends on their mindset. Like a lot of ignorant people look at it and it's like, because they were raised to hate successful black men, they hate Franklin. Or how they was raised to always side with women. They love everything Louis do, even though Louis is very manipulative.
Yep.
She manipulates her husband. And I talk in those angles, and I feel like the people who cover Snowfall, they don't want to get into too deep. They just want to take the show, get the views up the show, keep the typical gossip covering of Snowfall going, and not really get into how the social economic of it and how it affects us still to this day. What happened in the 80s with crack cocaine still affects us to this day. So I think that's kind of scaring them.
Well, let's switch gears because I want to talk about this as the fifth question. And my fifth question to this is, your channel started in 2019. Most channels drive the traffic that your channel drives. It basically started around the time I start, or started around the time before then. And with the fact that you are really hitting on points, that you're really focusing on our people, and you're focusing on really just ugly truths. We also have to add the element that you're talking about Kanye West, and you're really attacking that machine and that system in of itself. Do you believe that this is the plight of the unapologetic brother, that when you are unapologetic and you tell a cold-hearted, a unadulterated, a cutthroat truth-telling fashion, that you are automatically got to carry the cross for that?
I'm gonna say something that a lot of people not gonna want to hear. I feel like as a black man, we know who our enemy is. But I feel like as an unapologetic black man, you have two enemies. You have them, and you have your own people.
Facts.
Because fear of what you're saying makes them turn against you as well, even though they know it's the truth.
Yep.
Because a lot of black people, if they're honest with themselves, they fear. They fear the status quo. They fear being ridiculed. They fear being on the wrong side of the social ladder. Even if it's the right side. They fear being on the outside looking in. So they always want to be on the in crowd, even if the in crowd is wrong. For instance, the in crowd right now is saying Kanye West is crazy and Kim Kardashian is doing nothing wrong. But the right thing is, neither one of us have a psychology degree. So we can't label someone crazy as number one. Even psychologists don't call people crazy. They say they're suffering from this, from that.
Exactly.
And when you get into the mental state, damn near everybody's suffering from something. Whether it be insomnia, or whether it be depression, or whether it be anxiety. Every human being, no one's perfect. No one's Superman.
And when they do say that someone has something, they'll reference the person that clinically diagnosed them. They'll say Dr. such and such clinically had diagnosed this person with this issue.
Right. So but the media has made it comfortable with black people just to call other black people crazy. And we don't know what that's really doing. So my job as a black man is to basically bring realism to the situation. And the realism to the situation is this. You don't have the credentials to categorize somebody, so you shouldn't do it. And the reason why you're doing it is not because you even feel that way. It's because the media told you to do it. The media told you to do that. The media's been pumping in your head. And now you haven't questioned the media. You didn't do
Yep.
your due diligence.
Yep.
You're just regurgitating what they said.
Yep.
And me, I feel like it's my job to remind you that you don't
Mm-hmm.
have the credentials to be doing this. You don't haven't. Let's be honest. Majority of people have not accomplished the things that it takes to say the things that they're saying about Kanye West.
Facts.
They haven't accomplished to critique him the way they're critiquing him. They haven't accomplished what it takes to be able to do that.
Yep.
Think about how much Jay-Z has accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see Jay-Z coming on TV saying Kanye West is crazy?
Facts.
He's accomplished enough to critique Kanye, probably not to that level, but he's accomplished enough to critique Kanye and say, I don't like what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know why he don't do that? Because he knows his power of his words.
And he also understands what it takes to be at that level and accomplish what you accomplish. So why would he attack him?
Right.
It would be counterproductive.
He knows the power of his words. It's like, and he knows that everything ain't simple. It ain't simple that someone being crazy or someone being pussy whipped. That's the small-minded person simplifies things that are very complicated because they can't understand it.
Facts.
Like most black men, they can't understand a man fighting for his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, their dad didn't fight for them.
Yep.
Most black men can't relate to a man fighting for their kids.
Yep.
And now that I'm doing my research, there's a lot of white men that can't relate. Because a lot of white men that grew up, they like to act like they did in the military. I'm starting to realize a lot of white men that come up with dads.
And it was spoon fed. They just were acting out in high school or middle school. They probably got picked on. Then they go to the military to get some level of position of power. Then they want to act out that aggression. And then the other trip part about it is when they realize there's a huge gulf and a huge difference between their male anatomy and yours when it comes to women, then they want to take out a double aggression out on your ass.
Right. Then a lot of times when people are critiquing celebrities, what they do is they put what they would do under their current circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
They put that in the position of celebrity. What you would do in Kanye's shoes that means absolutely nothing because you are under your current conditions.
Yep.
You don't have the same pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You're not responsible to produce like he's responsible to produce. You don't have the world looking at you. You don't have the spotlight on you. It's not your children that's on TikTok and makeup. A lot of these guys critiquing him don't even have children.
So with you having
you
having both personalities of Tom Ross TV Raw and Tom Ross TV as it's connected to that, you could understand from a very short perspective how both of your channels, because I think it's important that you tell people how many times your channels, both channels, have gotten flagged. You've had to stop the work, restart again, and still end up ahead of 95% of the pack. I think it's important for people to know that. Like what was going through your mind during those moments?
I had 2 channels to get to 1,000 subscribers that got snatched. As soon as I try to get monetized, they got took off. The latest 2 channels, the Tom Ross TV, has been suspended for YouTube like 5 times. And that one just made 1,000 subscribers. This one right here, I think this is the second time I've been suspended of YouTube with strikes. And this one's at almost 4,000. There's no telling where I would be if I didn't suffer those downfalls. And even YouTube said they would never monetize my channel until I change my my message.
Yep.
They let me publish the videos, which means I'm not breaking any YouTube laws. I could publish those videos, but they saying those videos they won't monetize.
Yep. And it's interesting. It's interesting you said that because I'm going into this 8th question here, and it's interesting. the bottom line is, and I want to read Ron's comment, because you see, people are starting to say that. It says, sorry to hear that. It's a group of people on YouTube who actually say people troll them, but go around reporting channels. Interesting. And I think that's what happened to you. I think people have talked about people trolling them, and I honestly firmly believe that your channel has been reported by those same individuals. The reason why we know this, Ross, and this is why we could talk about it in the eighth one. I don't want you to unveil any names. I know you're not going to do that, but I'm just saying it for the matter of saying it. You've been approached by high level YouTubers to
Yeah.
go against me. And here's the funny thing about it. When I invested my time in you, I saw something in you that I didn't see in other people. And you could speak to that. Everybody has been on a time leash with me. It took 12 months before I could really say, you know what? I trust Ross's direction, where Ross is going. I see he has the energy of a true brotherhood, and I'm going to invest my time fully in this dude. I even did this with
Mm-hmm.
you. So when people are sitting here saying, man, he knows it's stuck up, or he knows, he's full of himself, or he knows this and he knows, it's not that. People don't understand business. Business is not personal. When you're going into business relationships with people, and you're going into business transactions with people, you have to vet people out appropriately. You have to vet them out properly. And
Yep.
part of that process is it takes fucking time. So I want you to speak to that on the eighth question, man. What is your take on that?
Um. So it's true. I have several channels come to me in reference to you, and I had several channels come to me in reference of changing my perspective and not being so aggressive towards racism and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and not being so pro black. And if I did that, they would take me on and as a partner. These are bigger channels. They would help my views, but it would ruin my channel because my channel is built a certain way. So I
Mm.
turn those people. I turn those people down out of loyalty to he knows the sport, and out of loyalty to my own people on the other spectrum. But I believe that's the reason why no matter how much hate I get, I still get blessed because I do things based on principle.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, off principle. Um, Someone that helps me build my channel up on their channel, then unless they violate me in a certain way, I can never go behind. Well, I'm not going behind anybody's back anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
I can never turn my back on them unless they violate me a certain way, and I'll never turn my back on my people. You know what I mean? So those are easy no's.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you said that, because if people really are paying attention to me and they understand me, they would understand my principle. I've elevated so many channels on YouTube, whether it was Lewis Sports Network, whether it was Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, whether it was shit, you name it. Um, you know, I don't mention you because you're just a different dichotomy. But you say me,
But why
so
not? Why not?
I let you. The reason why I let you do it is because you're your own brand, and it's just different. I look at you as a peer. I don't look at these other people as peers. I look at you as a peer. And when you look at somebody as a peer, it's kind of like what Jay-Z has said to Nas, right? When he signed Nas on Def Jam, he said, a artist like that, you don't sign him, you partner with him.
Right.
I thought that was so powerful when he said that. That's what our relationship is. It's a partnership. You don't sign. I've helped so many channels out, and you're the only one that has gone to bat authentically and come out your mouth and say the things that you've said out of principle and out of godly respect. Other people haven't done it, and this is why they're suffering the way that they're suffering. This is why they've stopped putting out their subscriber numbers. And you know why? It's because of that community post that I sent out when I showed you lapping them. Because your channel started in 2019. Shit, Lewis Sports Network's channel started a year before mine, 2012. You've lapped him 3,000. Shit,
Yeah.
damn near almost 3.5.
Yeah.
Speak Your Mind Sports TV, his shit started before mine's too. And you've lapped this motherfucker over 2.5. This is what people don't see. They always look at the short game, they don't look at the long game. I've always treated people with respect and I've always treated people the right way. Am I hard lining in the way that I go about stuff? Can I be a bona fide asshole? Do I demand certain standards and requirements? Yes. And you know why? It's because I want you to beef up your professionality, your
Mm-hmm.
look, because in doing that, you're going to give a more professional look to your product. When it was Lewis Sports Network, I told him a long time ago, he didn't take my advice. Hopefully he's listening. I said, your videos are too long and you're too fucking boring. When you're a boring individual, you need to stay within 2 minutes, 30 seconds to 5 minutes of video. If he would have listened to my advice, his channel would be a lot farther. Interestingly so, the guy that he's partnered with, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, behind his back, have said that he is boring as fuck and his channel is garbage. But this is the guy you side with. He told you
Yeah.
this behind your back. Me, I had enough respect to tell you this to your face via email. But you didn't take my advice. You went the very next video and you drop a 29-minute video and you're wondering why you're getting the same level of views that you're getting. You're not growing. You're not basically expanding. You're not realizing the current landscape in the market that you're paying attention to. I do things to help people out. Does it come across cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat? It does. You know who's the only person that's taken my advice to heart and has amplified it? Is Ross. Every time me and him talk, I tell him something. I like, hey man, he'll ask me a question. I'll say, oh, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And then next thing you know, I see this man take this shit into action and he puts it in his own spin. He's not looking at it as, oh, because I got this from he knows I'm lesser than a man. That's like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant getting advice from Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals, getting advice from Michael Jordan, reaching out to him. Kobe was reaching out to Jordan in the fourth and the fifth ring, asking
Mm-hmm.
for, hey, what do you do in this situation when you about to go to get your fourth ring? What do you do in this situation when you about to get your fifth ring? He's not any lesser. He's just trying to figure it out so he could curtail it to his own way of doing things. And see, what people got
Well,
to understand is a student can surpass a master. If Tom Ross TV surpassed me, I don't give a fuck. It never was about that with me. What it was about was basically showcasing on YouTube that you can have a true brotherhood, that two people can actually coexist. And I tried to find this with so many different people, it didn't fucking work. Well, guess what? God made me go through the trials and tribulations that I went through to finally get Tom Ross, because Tom Ross is an authentic friend. He's an authentic brother. This is a guy that I spend time trading business ideas and conversation. We're powwowing. We're talking about ex-wives and we're talking about shit like this. I don't spend this time talking to other people about these types of things because, one, your two most valuable resources is time and energy. And you don't
yeah.
just give that shit to any fucking body. You got to earn my fucking time and energy. Because my time and energy is value. I'm a high functioning male. I'm a high value male. So when I give my time and energy, it better be to a motherfucker that's a high functioning male and a high value male. This is the standard that I've created. So when I give you an advice from that level, it's like a turkey. You got to gobble that bitch the fuck up. And if you don't choose to do that, that's on you. I'm going to give roses to another channel, The Real Marlowe TV. The Real Marlowe TV took my advice from afar. Every time I see that brother, every time I talk to that brother, I don't talk to him often. I give him roses. I give him credit. The Real Marlowe TV, I didn't invest that much time in him. But he asked me a few questions. I gave him a few answers so long ago. He'll tell you, he'll testify that shit and tell you guys this shit. If you guys go and ask him, he'll tell you. He'll be like, man, he knows was the guy that helped me build my channel from afar, because I asked him questions, and once I started figuring the shit out, I figured it out. I wanted him to have it that way for himself, because the biggest thing that I wanted him to take away was I wanted him to have the credit for himself. So I wasn't directly involved, and now no one can take that shit away from him. He is, guess what? The black he's the black what they call that dude, shit, The motherfucker that always is the boxing insider for PBC. I can't think of the motherfucker's name. He's the one that always tells you about the PBC pay-per-view numbers and shit.
Copperfield or Copper,
Yes,
whatever.
he is the Black Mike Coppinger. And I told him that. I
Copperfield.
said, you the Black Mike Coppinger because the way you break shit in a unique way. And look at niggas on YouTube. Look at these so-called big channels. They're copying him left and right. He just dropped a breaking news about Spence and Jamal Charlo. He was the first one to been talking about that shit. He said those two guys are going to eventually go toe-to-toe with one another. And now niggas are piggybacking off of his success and not crediting him and not citing him. And I have a problem with that. Because when someone breaks something, you got to turn back and say, salute to the real Marlo TV for breaking this. And then you say, here's an addendum to the breaking news. Motherfuckers don't understand these types of things.
We don't do that in the black community.
We don't. Motherfuckers don't understand the ramifications behind that. So I said all of that to segue into, yes, he's the Black Mike Coppinger. And Mike Coppinger is nothing to play with because Mike Coppinger is the realest guy when it comes to comedy. You don't go listen to no Ron fucking Glasser. Ron Glasser don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's a fucking hater. You listen to Mike Coppinger. Mike Coppinger tell you that's what the real Marlo TV is. The real Marlo TV is accredited. This motherfucker breaks news at such an exponential level. Salute to him. If you listen to real Marlo TV, salute to you, man. You're doing great things, and your channel is going to see over 100K subscribers. Yeah, that's my nigga right there. You go back in GZ03 and you tell him the real Marlo 2 had nothing great but to talk about him. Contender Regime Box, solid fucking brother. These are the other two solid brothers that I tell people tune into what the fuck they got going on. I haven't checked in with Contender in a very long time, but that's a solid brother. That's a good, humble Texas dude. I have nothing but respect for him. And every time we chop it up, it's mutual respect for each other. Those are the four horsemen of the guys that I never talk trash about. I have a Nazarene vow, and I would never say anything negative. And there was Wood Stay Real TV, but Wood Stay Real TV, God rest his soul. He passed away of diabetes, and that's why you guys haven't seen his channel. But that motherfucker was attacking the LDBC, and his shit was about to blow up. But unfortunately, his life went short. But going into the 9th question, Ross, and this is what I'm talking about. When you have this level of solid people, right? And they're giving solid information. Their information is being stolen. It's being taken away from them. What is your take on why we as Black people have to have this divide and conquer mentality? Because you're experiencing it on Tom Ross TV. You're experiencing it on Tom Ross TV Raw. Why do we have that going on, man?
We still suffer from validation issues. So if what a Black man is saying hasn't been validated by a white source in any capacity, that is not to be trusted. That's number one. Number two, we let other races gaslight us. Like, if when we're talking about things that only concern us, other races don't shut the fuck up. They think it's their time to jump in and say, this has nothing to do with my race. Why are you talking about this? You're being too woke. Like, bro, if something has nothing to do with you, then you find another channel.
Yep.
That would be like me going on Hispanic channels and telling them they need to talk about Black people. I don't give a fuck about what they talk about. They got Black people in their own country.
Exactly.
They need to speak up for themselves. If the Black people in their own country not speaking up and saying y'all need to talk about us, then it's not my job to tell them what they need to talk about. I care about my people first and foremost.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk about when I want to talk about it. If you don't like it, if you think it's too woke, then maybe you should leave. That's the problem. Most Black people fold and say, "Oh, man, my message needs to be more universal because I'm getting these outside racist people getting upset."
Yep.
Man, on my channel, I don't give a fuck if people get upset. Nobody speaks for my people, so I'm going to speak for them.
Exactly.
I don't see no Hispanic channel speaking for Black people. I don't see no white channels speaking for Black people. I don't see no Chinese channels, no Japanese channels. So if I give up and fold because I'm too woke, who the fuck gonna do it?
Exactly.
We see what the majority of Black people in boxing or Black people in any Any platform on YouTube do. They make everything general and they for everybody. They for everybody's rights. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Yep.
Everybody else got people for their rights.
Yep.
I'm for my
So who
people.
the fuck do we got?
That's it. I'm for my people.
And it's like
So
I forgot the name of the rap song, but the rap song says "We all we got." I forgot who said that shit. And at the end
well,
of
I
the
know
day, we all who we got, man. And I'm gonna say this because this is the 10th question, and it segues into the next topic. So that's why y'all need to tune in because this shit is only getting juicier and juicier. What do you feel about you be having this bona fide all around alpha male personality? That's why I put your profile pic up with you blowing that damn cigar, man. That if that is not an all around alpha profile pic, and then it's next to two homosexual, very prevalent homosexual, basically what we would say effeminate, flamboyant YouTube channels in Barbershop Conversation and Boxing Ego. We have to talk about this because Barbershop Conversation is married. If you are a married man and you have a wife, why are you sitting here getting naked in front of other men when you know your channel is mostly showcasing other niggas? And why are other niggas not speaking out against this shit? Who are you showcasing your abs, your muscles for? You're supposed to do this if your channel variation showed that mostly it's men. And I was gonna get on fucking Ticket TV's ass because he basically did some bullshit where he was like, "Oh, look at me, I'm on the bike and I'm doing 150." Who gives a fuck? Why are niggas so thirsty to showcase their bodies to other niggas? It's not like
if
they not
any
even doing this shit for females. They doing this shit for other niggas. And then Boxing Ego. I know you want to talk, Ross. I want you to tackle these too because they belong to you. And then Boxing Ego turns around and Boxing Ego, everyone knows there's sugar in his fucking tank. I've never seen him with a female. Nobody can tell me that. And why are you guys co-signing every time this guy does a Weight Watchers video? He's saying shit that's disturbing to me. Earl the True Spence is my favorite boxer, but you're not gonna hear me say, "Oh, Earl the True Spence look delicious," and put an EWWWW on it. Deontay Wilder looks like a delicious black king. These are disturbing terminologies. And you motherfuckers, let me explain something to you motherfuckers. Every time you hit the like button, do you understand you're adding 1% of homosexuality into your manhood? You're basically emasculating yourself. You're not even supposed to like that shit. Now, if this is cutting a lot of motherfuckers, that's on you. If you've hit the like button, it's okay to put a Y. It's okay to put yes, you did, because you know what you're doing? You're admitting before God, not before me, not before Tom Ross. You're admitting before God that you have sinned, you have fallen short of the glory of God, and God is going to heal you right now. He's going to heal that effeminate spirit off of you. He's going to heal that homosexuality off of you. He's going to heal basically that waywardness off of you. So it's okay to admit that you did that. And this is where healing starts. It's like a 12-step addiction program. The first step is basically admitting that you were in denial. So if you hit a like button on Boxing Ego's Weight Watchers, where he's glorifying a boxer's body, you will heal yourself by saying you did that. And now you will know to never do that bullshit ever fucking again. And if you sat there and you liked the video where Beta Shop instigations or barbershop conversation has sat here and gotten naked in front of you, then you need to sit there and admit it and cast that demon out. Because let me tell you something, there's a prevalent demon that's going on in the black community, especially with black men, the emasculation of black men. And it starts here. If you guys are not paying attention, homosexuality in boxing is very prevalent. And these two guys are leading the homosexuality wave. So, Tom Ross TV, how do you feel about you and your alpha energy versus them? They're not, I don't even call them betas. I call it homosexual, basically mangina energy. How do you feel the separation and the differentiation has now affected your bottom line on both your channels?
I feel it's hard for a lot of black men to get behind an
Mm-hmm.
alpha because a lot of us been raised by single parents, single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us don't even understand masculinity. Really, we have to become grown ass men and have children, and to have so many experiences to understand what it is that we really possess and what we really own. And we realize the value of your masculinity, you wouldn't give it away.
Yep.
Now, me personally, I know that there's channels where guys show off their body, but typically there's channels where you know that's gonna happen. Like there
Mm-hmm.
might be workout channels, there might be channels geared toward women, blase, blase. My thing is just I'm not homophobic, but I do think it's alarming when it's done, the way it's done, right? So
Yep.
the way it was done was more so like he was trying to be sexy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's if you're trying to be sexy, that's fine. You're trying to reach a new demographic, that's fine. But you could at least title the video or the community post for the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
So if you title it for the ladies, then as a man, oh shit, I ain't clicking on this. Why I'm gonna click on it for? It's for the
Exactly.
ladies.
Exactly.
So when you title some regular shit, then you on there like with your shirt off, like trying to show the V of your lower half. Like who are you trying to attract? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But more so than that, I could care less about that shit right there. To me, that shit is funny style. It don't necessarily mean he take it up the ass, but it just means that he's weird. I don't like the fact that he's always attacking black business. He's always attacking Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather Jr. I got a problem
Mm.
with that.
I want you to enlighten on that more. What is your
I got,
issue with him attacking black business, Al Heyman, and Floyd Mayweather? Why do you feel that he's doing that? Like,
because,
what is the
because
reason for that?
because it's not coming from a journalistic point of view. It's coming from a personal point of view.
And why you
He
say
had a
it's personal?
he had a credential. He had a credential. He lost that credential. And ever
Mm-hmm.
since he lost that credential, he's been on the attack.
Mm.
But when you're a journalist, there's a reason why you lost your credential because you're not unbiased. You're biased. And when you're a
So
black
basically,
journalist,
based on what you're saying, the credentials being lost, that means that the attack in of itself is not authentic and it's not credible.
well, even if he did have a credential, it's not authentic, it's not credible because he don't attack everybody else the same way.
Mm.
Bob
Great
Arum
fucking point.
is the worst person in boxing. He don't attack Bob Arum like that.
Hmm. Eddie Hearn. I mean, he
Eddie
supports
Hearn
Devin
right
Haney. When
behind
you
him.
support when you support Devin Haney, you support Eddie Hearn. He doesn't attack him.
You don't attack Eddie Hearn. You
And
don't
Eddie
attack
Hearn's dad, Barry Hearn, had a dementia moment, and he basically said in front of, and I thought that was disturbing. I'm not the biggest Dillian White fan, but anybody that's black, I'm gonna defend them. When Dillian White was talking, he told Dillian White, "Sit your gyrated monkey ass down." Back in my day, guys like you basically were a slave trade operation. You were told what to do, when the fuck to do, and how the fuck to do. How do they support shit like this? And the fact that Devin Haney's his own boss, this is who he signed up under. And when Eddie Hearn tried to correct Barry Hearn, he did it smoothly. He was like, "Oh, my dad is just having Alzheimer's," and they chalked it up into neurolinguistic programming, fucking your head up. But the damage was already fucking done. The shit was already said. So
Yeah,
what's your
so
on that, man?
yeah, so like I was saying, black people, it's hard for us to get behind self-made black people, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we look at that and instead of saying right on, we say, damn, but I gotta go and I gotta punch the clock for a white man. So you look at another black man who's successful as if it's an insult to you. But it's not. It just means you gotta work a little harder and put yourself in a predicament where you can work for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All because one black man owns his business don't mean that's your enemy now.
Yep.
Anything, pay attention to how he's moving, and maybe you can learn something.
Yep.
But I got a problem with Barbershop doing that. And going back to Boston Eagle, I swear, every time he had those segments of the Eagle Weight Watchers,
Yep.
I always use the term.
Yep.
I always use the term because he never said things like, props to Errol Spence, man. He's taking his workout more seriously. He looks like he's in better shape. It was always some shit like, man, look at that bod and shit like that, bro. Like,
Wow.
man, even though I know I'm secure in my sexuality, I don't necessarily want to hear that.
It's not comfortable.
I would rather you cover some thick IG model and talk
Mm-hmm.
about her body like that.
Yep.
And I'll be like, damn, man. I'll be like, yeah, Angela Bassett is looking good. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
But you talking like that about this nigga body,
Mm-hmm.
I can't get with that, bro. And the
Mm-hmm.
1,000 of likes and views that should get,
Yep.
it's telling to where we are as a people with our masculinity.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's interesting you said that because
hold on,
there's one. Okay, my
hold on,
bad.
one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The man said preaching and cursing at the same time. I guarantee you can't find nowhere in the Bible where they say anything about curse words.
Nope.
You will never find it, man. You let these people tell you what word is bad and what word is good, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
hold me to that accountability? No,
Mm-hmm.
sir. No, sir. I'm not under their jurisdiction the way I talk. You are.
Exactly.
If you talk in scripture, there ain't nothing in the Bible that said anything about a bad word or a good word.
Yep.
These people told you what words to say and what words not to say. Why they simultaneously give you contracts and things with words that basically say you ain't nothing. You 3/5 of a
Yep.
man. That's a
Yep.
curse.
Yep.
That's acceptable to say in a society, but that's a curse.
Yep.
They told you 3/5 of a man.
Yep.
But you accepted that.
Yep.
Because it didn't say fuck. It didn't say
Yep.
damn or shit.
Yep.
But you accept a lot of things that are curses because
Yep.
they're said the right way. So
Yep.
miss me with that. Back to what I was saying. The
And
man,
people have a very westernized Christian view on how to look at the Bible. If you have a twisted, I like this person here that's commenting. If you have that version or that view of how you look at the Bible or how you interpret stuff, you are very limited in your know-how. And I just wanted to say this real quick, Ross, while you holding that thought. He said one person said, didn't Barbershop say he owns buildings? That's even worse. If you own property and you're a businessman, Al Heyman should be your this should be somebody you're paying attention to and learning from. I've learned so much from Al Heyman in terms of how he's a mafioso and a boss behind the scenes without him actually showcasing his face. I'm so enamored and amazed by that. And me myself, I'm a fellow businessman. So that really strikes me. And the fact that as a black man, he's able to have more power than all of these guys combined, and the polarization that he gets. You should be more impressed by that than you sitting there talking trash about him if you are so-called a businessman.
the problem I got with it is it's personal
Mm-hmm.
because it's not the same energy across the board.
Yeah.
But for non-international boxing, he has a personal vendetta against Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Why? He feels anything positive said about Floyd Mayweather Jr. is an indictment against Muhammad Ali, but it's
Exactly.
not. Your generation viewed Muhammad Ali as the GOAT,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. He was my GOAT, so I started studying Floyd Mayweather more in depth and realized Floyd Mayweather is actually a better boxer.
And Muhammad Ali, if you're honest with yourself, Ross, Muhammad Ali is, you know how in Dragon Ball you got Goku and how Goku's Saiyan level and then he's Super Saiyan. Muhammad Ali's the Saiyan, and then Goku at Super Saiyan level. That's Floyd Mayweather, because Muhammad Ali had the perfect ability. The problem with him is he got complacent in his
Yeah.
perfect ability, and he didn't make the adjustment when he no longer had the legs anymore. And that's why he lost the fights that he lost. If he would have made the adjustment and then implemented the rope-a-dope from the gate, we're talking about a different fucking career. Floyd made the adjustment from pretty boy to money made once he realized those reflexes were no longer the same. You saw he said, okay, Uncle Jeff, listen, Uncle Roger, I got to put you to the side. Dad, I need to bring you back in. I need to become more defensive.
Yeah.
Because now my reflexes are slower, and boxing is all about, you get hit less, You end up with all your faculties, and you end up all together, and you're good to go. Plus, Muhammad Ali was a guy who, in between fights, engaged in stuff that shortened his career. Let's be honest. Floyd was disciplined, no drinking, no smoking. And I'm not saying a fighter cannot drink and smoke, but Muhammad Ali was doing these things to the excess. We've seen biographies on him, we've read up on him. So this is the difference between Muhammad Ali and Floyd, and why Muhammad Ali, in my estimation, is the second greatest fighter. But I wanted you to get back to your point, Ross.
Yeah, the problem is it's okay to say he's the greatest. That's fine. If you want to say Muhammad Ali is the greatest, that's fine. I'm not gonna argue with you. Muhammad Ali is great. But if you're gonna say I feel Muhammad Ali is the greatest, so therefore anything this other black man does, I'm gonna tear it down to make sure this guy stays up. Now you're putting a sport over the people. When we dead and gone, bro, do we still want white people to control the sport that's dominated by black people?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we really want? Because that's what we're working at.
Yep.
We're tearing out Floyd Mayweather promotions.
Yep.
To protect a legacy that's set in stone.
Yep.
No matter what Floyd does, the people who grew up watching Muhammad Ali fight, they're never going to change their mind.
They're never.
That's what they saw. Like people who are around to see Joe Louis, Joe Louis is their guy. People who are people who actually saw, right? Not the young people, not fucking
Ross.
Max
You touched
Kellerman.
on a good point. I have to keep on your point. You said people that grew up and watched these motherfuckers. You had to check people that mentioned these names and they didn't grow up watching them. Doesn't that disturb you? That you got young people because they feel like they want to talk boxing. They want to mention motherfuckers they didn't even grew up in that era. What's your take on that, man?
I'm about to touch on the Max Kellerman. Never seen Sugar Ray Robinson fight. There's like 9 hours of Sugar Ray Robinson footage. Mm-hmm. All of it got lost. Most of his fights was on the radio. If you wasn't there to see it, you don't know what he did.
Yep.
So for Max Kellerman, somebody that's like 7 years older than me, maybe 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, he's not old enough to have seen Sugar Ray Robinson's career in its entirety. For him to say he's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr., that's the narrative, man. He didn't see that. He could say Ali because Ali's whole career is on footage. So even if you wasn't there to watch him fight, you could watch him fight. It's on footage. My brother got the tapes.
He's 10 years older than you. He's 48.
Yeah. So he wasn't there to see Sugar Ray Robinson. He don't know anything about what Sugar Ray Robinson did, man. There's nine. I think they said there's 29 hours. No, there's 9 hours of footage. 9 hours of footage of Sugar Ray Robinson's career. And none of them are one whole fight. We don't have a whole fight of Sugar Ray Robinson. So how the fuck can somebody say he's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. that's less than 80 years old, man? That's bullshit. It's a narrative. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine. But you don't, as a black man, you don't tear down Floyd, everything Floyd does, to try to preserve Muhammad Ali when Muhammad Ali is set in stone. What he did is set in stone. The people who actually were around to watch Muhammad Ali fight, they're never going to waver from Muhammad Ali. That's what they're going to do. Period. Just like people like me who've seen both of them fight, we could go either way. People who only seen Floyd fight, never going to waver from fucking Floyd. That's their GOAT, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to live with that shit. Well, think about Fanon, for number one, clean shaven, bald head. Those people, those are the yes sir guys at work, man. Those are when you have the ability to grow your beard out or to grow facial hair, and you trying to be less of a fucking threat to when we came over on the boats, the first thing they did, they cut our beard off.
Yep.
They shaved our hair because they know that was against. They know that was against the way we're supposed to live. We always supposed to have facial hair.
Yep.
Hebrews live different. We don't have the. I'm trying to touch my feminine. I'm trying to reach my feminine. I'm trying to look like a woman so I could relate to women. We don't relate to women. They relate to us.
Yep.
Niggas grow their hair out, or niggas have hair on their head. You're not supposed to cut your hair clean bald. Not supposed to do that. We not supposed to cut our beard all the way off. When you purposely doing that shit, you trying to look like a little boy to these white folks, so you non-threatening. So I don't trust nothing that man got to say, man. Not against nobody like Floyd Mayweather Jr., man. I don't
Yep.
trust nothing that man got to say. Nothing. Because it's not coming from the right place. It's heavy-handed. You mean tell me Floyd Mayweather is the only promotional guy that there is to critique? Why he don't critique everybody else that way?
Mm-hmm.
So you critique Floyd harder than you critique Bob Arum? There's always something about Floyd on this man's channel. There's always something about Tank Davis. And if Tank Davis, if he's drinking the Kool-Aid, fuck him, let him go. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
gonna treat him better than Floyd. If he go and he not trying to build his own shit, he a damn fool, man.
And I'm glad he said that Fanon is a narcissist. That's exactly what he is. He is a narcissist. I saw that. I peeped that vibe from him from day one. Narcissistic people, people that drive in narcissism. Like me, I have narcissistic personalities. Ross has narcissistic personalities, but we are not narcissists. A narcissist, someone who is full-blown narcissist, only cares about themselves. They care about what they say. They care about what they think. And L Foul Player said, sorry about your channel, Tom Ross. That's really whack. See, this is why it was important to put that out there, because
Appreciate it,
people
bro.
are understanding what's going on. And the thing with Fanon is this is what limits him, and it limits a lot of people who don't transition. I was watching a video by Timberland the other day, and I'm going to show you how this correlates. So y'all follow me, because you know he knows everything's a great storyteller. When Timberland was talking about how as a producer he still does the piano with his hands, Pro Tools came out, all of this different technology came out, and he said what caused him in a slump was he wasn't willing to graduate his mindset and graduate his state into evolving into that new level producer through modernization. And he realized he got left behind a little bit until he started doing the Love Sound music with Justin Timberlake and Nelly Furtado and them. And once that happened, guess what ended up happening, bruh? He started understanding that either I'm going to get left behind or I modernize myself with the fact that music, it's actually gotten easier. You could still develop the same sound. You just don't have to work as hard. Once Timberland wrapped his brain around it, he was able to understand that. Well, how does this correlate and contextualize? Again, follow the story. He knows everything's giving you that Slick Rick story. Floyd Mayweather has taken what Muhammad Ali's done and made it easy. He basically said, I don't need a rope-a-dope strategy because of the fact that I have a perfected Philly shell style that I have now converted into what's called the Mayweather defense. If you look at the Mayweather defense is the perfected version of what a rope-a-dope never was, because you don't need to hang on the fucking ropes. And you don't need to use so much of your legs, because with the Mayweather defense style, you're pivoting. This is what you're doing. This is most of what you're doing. You're pivoting and you're keeping the offensive fighter off balance. So there's not a lot of movement that's required in that. What's required is the ability to hit and don't get hit. The same concept that the rope-a-dope was doing. But here's the problem with the rope-a-dope. If you get tired, you leave your head open, you getting hit with uppercuts. You getting hit with massive shots. This is what caused Muhammad Ali to end up having Parkinson's. Because even though the rope-a-dope blocked a lot of shots, the rope-a-dope took a lot of devastating shots. Whereas when you look at the Mayweather defense doesn't take devastating shots. It takes grazing shots. This is why this is the perfected defense. This is why a guy like Lomachenko said, man, if I had to go and look at Floyd Mayweather's ability and look at Floyd Mayweather's skill set, man, I would have to stop what I was doing and restudy everything to learn everything from scratch. And I'm glad, Ron, you said Jaron Ennis gets hit. Jaron Ennis is heavily fucking overrated. There's a lot of fighters out here. People think that they are what people think that they are. They're not. There's only one other person in boxing, and I'm going to say it, and this is going to ruffle a lot of fucking feathers, and I don't give a fuck, that has his own version of Mayweather defense, but it's his defense. It's called the Spence defense. Spence is the only other fighter that has a perfected defense. His perfected defense is in his front foot. Because you have to understand, for you to be a front foot fighter and to only take grazing shots, that's impressive. Spence don't take devastating blows.
Nah, he
The
have a
only
perfect
devastating
height.
blows that Spence have taken, just like Mayweather, was early on in their career when they were still perfecting their craft. If you've paid attention to them, once they've hit their win, their second win, and once they've basically gotten into their actuality of who they are as fighters, they have perfect styles. Their styles are fundamentally different. Floyd is from a CompuBox defensive, Mayweather defensive standpoint, and Earl the True Spence is from a front foot. Earl the True Spence is the beauty of perfected Mexican come forward style, because his come forward style is not bullshit. It's actually what Mexicans need to, and I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez down. They need to go to the school of Earl Spence and study what a perfected come forward style looks like. It's Earl the True Spence, because he's coming forward on you and he's not taking no blows. He's not taking no punishment. He's not sitting there being a human fucking pinata. And then on the back foot, he has such a slickness to where you can't touch him. This is why he told Timothy Bradley to his face, you have no right to sit here and talk about me and my boxing ability, because Ruslan Provodnikov put your ass out of commission for 12 months. Timothy Bradley has yet to respond to that. He said, I parry punches. Anybody that knows boxing knows what parry means. I catch him with my fucking mitts. That's what he's saying. I don't take punishment. Go look at the fight with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a hella fine counter puncher. You want to know Earl the True Spence's boxing ability? Go look at how Danny Garcia was trying to connect on a lot of counter punching, and he was missing. Any other fighter that Danny Garcia would have fought, Terrence Crawford included, they would have been eating those fucking punches. And what people don't understand is, just like Floyd Mayweather is the master of basically being a human CompuBox and figuring you out, Earl the True Spence is the master of fundamentals. He's the master. He's basically taken the Mexican come forward style, perfected it. He's taken fundamentals, perfected it, and he doesn't move off a center line mass. He will not move off of it. You want to know which fight showed you that? The Sean Porter fight. He fought Sean Porter's fight, and he told y'all how he was going to fight. That's why I laugh at y'all. Y'all don't know boxing. Spence told you he was going to stay in the ring with Sean Porter. He was going to go toe-to-toe, and he was going to break Sean Porter at his own style. If you guys were true boxing fans, you would look at that fight as a virtuoso performance, a performance of a savant. But you guys showed me your boxing knowledge is limited as fuck. I'm going to say it again. You showed me your boxing knowledge is limited as fuck because you thought he was fighting a way that he wasn't supposed to, when in actuality, he was showcasing the savant that he was. Tom Ross TV, I want you to tell me, man, with these two perfected styles, why aren't boxing fans getting behind this? And why do boxing fans wait till guys like this leave the sport for them to glorify, and like we said in the Power Hour earlier, to be fans?
Because black people have we have a name brand personality.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why we got behind Floyd, because Floyd made himself a name brand. If these guys don't make themselves a name brand, a super big name, then black people will never get behind them, because it's for the same reason why we were in Nike.
Mm-hmm.
And we know where the young boy on Instagram that just created his shoe. We won't fuck with the young black boy who just created his shoe.
Yep.
It should be Nike. We'd rather give Nike millions of dollars. Kanye just came out with a shoe. Fuck Kanye, man. Kanye shit ugly as fuck. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Nike shoes ugly as fuck. You still buy them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Louis Vuitton shoes ain't worth $6,000. Black niggas still going and buying them.
Nah.
We have a name brand thing. If it's accepted by white people, then we accept it.
Facts.
If it's not accepted by white people, but yet it's a name brand, it's popular, then we accept it. Mm-hmm. We don't have that grassroots mentality. Like, damn, you know what? I fuck with these shoes. I'm just gonna get them. no matter
Yep.
what. I'm a rocker,
Yep.
and I don't care what nobody else say. Like, no, we look on Instagram like that. Anybody rocking these yet? Like, damn, as soon as somebody start rocking them, I'm a rocker.
Yep.
As soon as somebody start fucking with Spence on the high level, then I'm a fuck with them. Soon as Max Kellerman say Spencer's a great, then I'm gonna get down on him. But until then, guess what? I'm gonna have my support in secret. I'm gonna try to steal Spence fights.
Yep.
Niggas want you know what I'm saying? Like, we are our worst own enemy. We don't realize that we don't
and
need
that's why they're saying guys like Conor Ben could beat Ugas, right? And guys like Conor Ben on the same level with Earl Spence, basically discrediting Ugas and making this Earl Spence seem like he's simple, right? They used to do this shit with Floyd.
First of all, who the fuck is Conor Ben, man?
Thank you.
Who is he to be in the same sentence as Earl Spence?
Mm-hmm.
Ugas put himself in that sentence. He deserves it.
Facts.
Because he ain't barely beat Manny Pacquiao. He beat the hell out of Manny Pacquiao.
He had jinky feet in Manny Pacquiao. Retired his ass.
This is the reason why Keith Thurman tried to say something about Floyd. He out of pocket because Keith Thurman lost to somebody Floyd beat easy.
Exactly.
So Ugas had learned, he's earned the right to be in the sentence with Errol Spence. Because he beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
Did him bad. Conor Ben, who the fuck is he?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but who was he to be in the same sentence with Errol Spence? So I don't even get insulted by that. My mind, I have a filter on my mind. If something too much bullshit, it's like it's a filter to where I won't even address it. You know what I mean? Like it's a filter on my head and shit. Like if it's too much stupid shit, I'll be like, I won't even. That's dumb. But back to this homosexuality in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna have a platform, then it's okay. If you want to have your platform, I attack Mayweather no matter what. I don't agree with that, but you have to get on all of the boxing companies. There's no way you could be so thirsty to find something wrong with everything Floyd do, but ignore everything that Bob Arum does.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it looks as if you're selling out. It looks as if the LDBC is taking money from Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn under the table.
Yep.
That's what it looks like.
I mean, it doesn't look. I mean, that's exactly what the fuck it is. Because who are they supporting? They're supporting the fighters. They're supporting the fighters that are promoted by them. They're constantly co-signing Terrence Crawford, even though Terrence Crawford has been on record saying, "Who the fuck is new media?" and is constantly clowned them. They've been on record talking about Devin Haney, and they're shitting on Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's be honest, they don't have a direct problem with Gervonta Tank Davis. If Gervonta Tank Davis left Mayweather Promotions, they would be sitting there on Gervonta Tank Davis's dick. It's because of Floyd.
Because let's be honest, you know why me and He Knows the Sports don't really attack boxing like we used to? Because we were some of the only ones that was countering the anti-black boxing narrative. We were countering this. And who did y'all go support? Y'all supported the Boxing Eagles.
Yep.
Y'all supported the Fanons, the LDBC.
Yep.
Y'all supported ESPN, all that shit. Y'all support.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to step away from it, man, because it takes time to sit and make these videos that breaks down.
They don't understand
that breaks down how they're using racism, how they systematically pushing certain fighters out, and they're lying, and they're not being right with the numbers. Deontay Wilder was never supposed to be forced to have a fight with Tyson Fury at a disadvantage.
Facts.
To where Tyson Fury could wear gloves that had no padding in them.
Mm-hmm.
And the only recourse was, well, Deontay Wilder, you could wear gloves that don't got no padding either. That's not even, because somebody's hands is going to be naturally stronger than the other person's hands.
Yep.
And
it's counterproductive for somebody like Deontay Wilder that has power, because he's gonna break his fucking hands fighting and some bullshit like that.
But because we don't support black fighters the way we should, they could get away with that shit.
Yep.
And the LDBC didn't say nothing about it. Only people who said something about it was Champ Side and Champ Side. The other dude, the dude that Dante Boston Nation put on Dante Boston Nation, us, and a few other guys. I think Young Pharaoh, the crazy motherfucking Egyptology guy. Other than that, Boston as a whole didn't give a fuck about Deontay Wilder.
Mm-mm. And when you say those select group of people that talk about it, let's be honest, we led the pack. We were the first ones to talk about the shit. But again, going back to what Ross said, y'all went on the wave of those who y'all felt y'all should have went on the wave up. This is why boxing is not something that really garners our attention at this moment. We have bigger topics. We have real life shit that we could talk about all day, every day that affects us, man. Boxing is just a fucking sport. And a sport is just basically a vice to take you away from the real fucking life. If you got your purpose together and you got your shit together, you don't need to be focusing on some shit that can take you away. So if you motherfuckers want us to contribute back again, like I've been saying, and I will continuously vehemently say on both sides of the aisle, donate to fucking motivate, man. You got motherfuckers telling me, hey man, you know, where that heat in that fire? You want that heat in that fire? Donate to fucking motivate. You want that heat in that fire? You want what was great when greatness was in front of you, then appreciate it. This is what they appreciate Floyd. They don't appreciate Kanye West. They don't appreciate Earl the True Spence. That's why I'm glad when Jordan 6-time Bishop said, I feel Jaron Ennis is going to realize that his athletic style will fail him against Earl Spence Jr. Earl Spence will ruin Jaron Ennis. Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo 2.0 facts. If anyone knows the sport of boxing, they know that a motherfucker like that doesn't belong in the ring with Earl the True Spence. He doesn't fucking belong.
He's gonna tire out against Earl Spence. Okay, he's gonna have to exert so much energy keeping him off of him, and he's gonna come to the realization like, damn, I'm throwing all these big punches, but he's catching them all. I'm getting tired. Errol Spence gets strong as the fight goes on.
He's a Terminator. He gets stronger and stronger.
The only nigga in the last couple of decades, in this last decade, and not even now because he's old. It's Floyd is the only nigga that could get in there and fight Errol Spence. A prime Floyd. These rest of these niggas, Errol Spence is gonna do a grave damage to.
He'll cripple their ass, man. He'll fucking cripple them. Look at Sean Porter. Sean Porter is one of the hardest nosed physical fighters. Go look at his tune-up fight. He looked horrible right after Spitz. He had bloated fucking trauma. He was horrible. And Ross was telling me, I didn't even pay attention to that. Ross said, go look at the post. And I'm telling y'all that. So I know you boxing enthusiasts going to do that. Go look at the post conference and go look at Kenny Porter telling media folks, push the camera away from Sean because Sean was walking gingerly. Let me say it again. Motherfucker was walking gingerly. He was groveling. Y'all motherfuckers don't understand the damage Spence did. Y'all sitting here saying Spence got exposed. Spence beat the shit out of him. Y'all motherfuckers don't know boxing, man. Y'all limited with y'all knowledge.
Sean Porter will never be the same after that fight because he took too many. He gave some punishment out, but he won't hit hard as Spence. He took too much punishment in that fight.
Yep.
He took too much punishment in that fight, man. So it got to the point after that. He's rigging fights, and now all of a sudden he's falling down after barely getting hit by punches. In Terrence Crawford fight. Because now when you rig a fight, they pay you a little extra money under the table to rig it. Now he got to do shit like that for the bread.
Yep.
Let's be honest. If you stood in there with all these rounds of Spence taking flush shots, how the fuck you get knocked out by a punch that missed and hit you in your shoulders?
Exactly.
Now you just throwing fights now.
And how did you miraculously fall down in the 11th round? That was an accumulation of punishment that basically allowed for Earl True Spence to get the perfectly placed punch. He systematically broke you down to where your jaw and your chin was open. That's why Spence was admiring the shit, because Spence realized for 11 rounds he beat the shit out of him. Listen, man, Terrence Crawford is going to get folded like a fucking pretzel. He's weak as fuck. His body is brittle. If you go look at the fight with Sean Porter was beating the shit out of him before he took the pay to lose, the nose dive.
Only a Terrence Crawford fan would accept that fight.
Yep.
That last knockdown, he missed 6 punches in a row, and
Six.
a nigga just fell.
And the nigga fell. It looked like the Kell Brook shit.
That's what
Kell
y'all
Brook
not
looked at Bob
understanding,
Arum. Remember Ross? We was looking at the shit. Kell Brook looked at Bob Arum. Bob Arum told his ass to fold, and then he fell. Bud didn't hit the motherfucker.
bro. This gonna be just like when this was gonna happen if they
Hagler
fight.
versus
Me,
Hearns.
me personally, I think Crawford gonna duck that fight. Crawford never wanted to fight Spence. That's the reason why he didn't go to the PBC. But if he takes that fight, Spencer's gonna beat him easily, and it's gonna be the same excuses it was when Floyd beat Pacquiao.
Yep.
People are gonna feel let down because they
Yep.
thought the fight was gonna be more competitive than what it really was. When
Yep.
Spence stopped him or beat him badly, they're gonna say, you know what? They're gonna either say they're either gonna make excuses for Bud, or they're gonna say, or they're gonna turn their back on Bud and be like, oh, he was never that good. They're not gonna give Errol Spence the credit he
I'm
deserves.
glad you said Mayweather and Pacquiao, Ross, because Ron is going to be the first ones, like the Bud man fan he is, and going to say, you see, Spence was waiting until Bud got older. He aged out. That's why he fought him. He could have fought him 2-3 years ago when he first came to the welterweight. I already know what
That's what
the
they're gonna say. They're gonna find a way to make an excuse for Bud. They're not gonna accept the fact that he lost. But truth be told, if Bud really wanted to fight Spence, he would have had a 2-fight deal long time ago.
Exactly.
He would have left Bob Arum long time ago.
And I'm not going to cover none of those topics until that actually happens. Because once Bud actually signs on the dotted line with PBC, then I know that he's going to get his ass whooped. And let me tell you something, Devin Simmons. A 2-fight deal, let me tell you what the 2-fight deal going to look like. The first one's obviously going to be Spence, because Spence made it very clear if this is what the trajectory is going to be. After the Ugas fight is Crawford. And if I don't get Crawford, I'm going to 154. So the first one's going to be Spence, and then the last one's going to be a retirement of a tune-up after Spence beats the shit out of him. And it's going to be like the worst tune-up ever. It'll probably be him versus Mikey Garcia or some shit like that. That's what it'll fucking be. Two losers, and that's a perfectly marketed thing. Two losers that Earl the Spence damaged, and you lump them together. You call them the fighters that Earl the Spence damaged having their retirement party or their retirement fight out. That's what he should do in a 2-fight deal. But I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Terrence Crawford is so heavily overrated. And here's the disrespect, Ross. Timothy Bradley has come out of his own rabbit ass mouth and said Spence, and see, this is the narrative they're running. Him, fucking Roy Jones Jr., all these motherfuckers. Spence can potentially get beat up by Ugas. Spence can get damaged by Ugas. Spence, we don't know if he could win. But if it was Terrence Crawford that was fighting Ugas, they would have said definitively, oh, Terrence Crawford's going to beat up your Dennis Ugas. He has better skills. Why do they always have something polarizing to say about Spence?
And the crazy thing is, Spence and Ugas is a 50-50 fight.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
Yep.
Not Spencer Ugas. Not Spencer. No, Spencer Ugas gonna be a good fight, but I think Spencer gonna win. Ugas and Crawford will be a 50-50 fight, man. Yep. I'm not convinced that Crawford could go in there and beat Ugas, man.
Nah, I'm not convinced. I knew what you meant when you were saying
that. You want to know why? Ugas could really box.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like them dudes Spence been that Crawford been struggling with.
Yeah.
Ugas ain't Mean Green. He ain't Benavidez.
Yep.
If he find your weakness, he's smart enough to stay on that shit.
Yep.
Once he found out, oh, this nigga Pacquiao like to flick his jab. He don't throw a real jab at first. He throw a flick and he feint. Then he throw his left hand. He started capitalizing on that shit. As soon as Manny Pacquiao got ready to flip, he was throwing the right hand.
Yep.
Same shit Floyd was doing.
Yep.
Ugas, these Cuban guys really know how to box.
Yep.
So Crawford ain't no guy I think is just walking in and whoop Ugas. They'll be in there thumping. And he might lose.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you because Crawford, Ross is generous. He said 50-50. I'm giving Ugas 70-30 his way because Crawford's boxing skills is heavily overrated. I saw Kell Brook, whose inch reach is like 6 inch reach is shorter, And I don't even think Kell Brook is the boxer that Uka says. You remember me and you was watching that shit? Kell Brook was out boxing the fuck out of this
He was
motherfucker,
tagging
man.
that motherfucker. He was
And
tagging him. All
Ugas
of a
to me
sudden,
knows how to land those overhand rights with perfection.
then all of a sudden he got knocked out.
And he got knocked out.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden, out of
Nah, a
nowhere.
punch that wasn't even devastating. That shit was grazing.
Exactly.
I'm like, so you mean
And
tell
I
me you
agree
could
with
get?
niggas saying
You mean
Crawford is
tell me
going to
you?
be Spencer's first KO since 2018. And I
So you
wanted to
mean
say
tell?
because Devin Simmons said, "I that white boy he working with got Spence looking like a bull." I'm glad Blu-ray came out and fixed his rabbit ass mouth to say it, because Blu-ray said, "I'm not working with Spence." I'm glad he said that because I knew that to be true. Now motherfuckers know
You was
this
right about
dude
that.
right here that's working with Spence got Spence. I told people there's so many ways to cut the
But
cat when it,
what I say though
Mhm.
about that, I said that Spence need to go back to Blu-ray or find somebody else, but he needs
Mhm.
somebody. Did I not say
Oh,
that?
I'm not saying
Yeah.
that as an attack to you.
No. You ain't
I
attacking
know
me
where
at
you
all.
stand.
You attacking the
I
rest of
know
the
where you
motherfuckers.
stand. I know
You
where you
attacking the
stand with this
motherfuckers.
shit.
You attacking the motherfuckers that was saying Spence ain't shit without Blu-ray. That's what you
Exactly.
attacking. Yeah.
Exactly. I
And
know where
and
you
I,
stand with the shit.
I
And
just know
Devin
I just know
Simmons
that
said,
the way Spence fights, Spence
mhm,
needs to be at peak shape.
"Yep,
None of that. I'm hanging out with buddy bullshit because as you get higher up in your competition, this ain't basketball, man. This
no,
boxing.
it's
You
boxing."
know what I
And
mean?
Devin Simmons said, "Yeah, you called it on the Blu-ray shit." I'm gonna tell you guys why I called it, because Blu-ray was an incomplete personal trainer. You guys don't understand, man. I have credentials in correctives. Shout outs to my boy AMS. AMS inspired me to do that shit. I got credentials in corrective. I never told people who inspired me to do it. And I have credentials in personal training. So I know shit about this, man. I know the science behind it. Ross can tell you, me and him, we be chopping it up. I give him little tips and shit like that. I know the science behind this shit. And I knew that
How to eat,
Blu-ray
what
was
supplements to
incomplete.
take, everything. This nigga be hooking me up. It's some shit
Yep.
I know kind of research. It's some shit I thought I knew, but could be doing it better.
Yep.
And he done gave me the insight. But let me tell y'all something about Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Blu-ray is actually great at what he does. You know what's
He
wrong with
is.
Blu-ray? You know what's wrong with Blu-ray? He care more about himself than he do the product. If
There
you
you
do
go.
the product right, you don't have to do what you doing.
Exactly.
Just focus on Spence. Get Spence right,
Yep.
and his fighting gonna do this. Gonna tell the story for you.
Don't
But
focus on yourself.
he wanna be trying to make himself famous. Trainers in boxing not supposed to be famous. If
No.
you want to be famous, cover other shit. Make
Yep.
videos about other shit
Yep.
like I do,
Yep.
but don't be using Errol Spence's name, and you'll be
Yep.
fine.
Yeah, because trainers and strength and conditioning coach was never supposed to be the famous. You're supposed to be
They're not
behind the
gonna be
scenes.
famous, bro.
The ones that's supposed to be famous is the boxer, and it's the
The
boxer
boxer.
like Floyd would do. Floyd would tell you I have a great team, and Floyd would elevate his cut man. That's why his cut man is now working in the MMA, because Floyd pushed him out there. It has to be the boxer that do that. You don't do that for yourself. You see the clan over there on Fit to Fight or Fight to Be Fit. Those
Yeah.
motherfuckers have a complete package. Let me tell you something about personal training and why personal training at the highest levels is different. What Blu-ray has is basic personal training shit. I want you guys to start watching Alpha Male Strategy. AMS talk about the shit. Regular personal training shit is just shit where you work at a fucking gym and you training motherfuckers on, okay, this is how you can get a bigger bicep. This is how you can get a bigger body. This is how you can get ripped. Da da da. That shit, if you go pay attention, go to your local gym. Most motherfuckers look at these people and they laugh at them because they say, man, why would I pay you $150 when all I could do is be on this treadmill? Or I could be on this, or I could be on that. They're not going to focus on them. So they never go to these people. But then if you add elements to your shit, like correctives, like me, I have correctives. Correctives is teaching you how to heal your body while you're working out. These are the things people want to hear because people are suffering with ailments, physical maladies, physical
From
shit,
working out.
diseases and shit like that from working out. This is the shit that people want to hear that's more intertwined with what's going on with them. Well, this is what the clan and them got. And this is
Yeah.
where Blu-ray's left in the sauce, right? Blu-ray's
Like
teaching Spence how to be physically strong, right, Ross? But guess what Clan got? The clan got a nutritionist in-house getting Spencer's body's right from a nutrition standpoint. He got a chef. And on top
Yep.
of that, he's teaching Spence how to do what Blu-ray's doing half the time. Blu-ray was trying to get Spence to do it, but beat his body up doing it. The Clan's like, no, you can still look like this, but half the way where you're not beating your body up because you're already beating your body up training. I told you
Because
guys, there's smarter
because
ways
the
to do this
diet
shit.
because the diet is more so than anything.
Mm-hmm.
When my diet is right, people to be like, bro, how have you been? When I was in Cuba, I was stationed
Mm-hmm.
in Cuba for a year in Guantanamo Bay. Niggas was like, what are you doing, bro? And to
Yep.
be honest, all the fuck I was doing was working out in that Cuban sun, and I was eating a certain way, and I was getting ripped off
Mm-hmm.
eating,
Yep.
and
Yep.
doing regular Navy workouts. You know, we work out 3 times a day, push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, run a half a mile, do that 3 times. But I wasn't doing nothing crazy. But my diet,
Yep.
the way I was eating, was bringing out cuts,
Yep.
and that hot sun
Yep.
made me drink water, copious
Like
amounts of
crazy.
water every day.
Yep.
People don't understand how much water drinking of water every day change you,
Clean your
bro.
fucking system out.
So I was at peak shape, and niggas thought, and I was doing my. I had a homeboy that a lot of Cali niggas, all they want to do is they always fighting. They
Mm-hmm.
always working on fighting, and
Mm-hmm.
he was fighting, and I was sparring with him to get him ready.
Yep.
That was it. I wasn't doing that crazy. I wasn't working 5 times. The way I was looking, you would have thought I was working out every day. I wasn't. I was working out 3 times a day, and
Well,
mainly just
sparring and
eating.
boxing, man, that shit is get you in hellified shape.
Yeah, but I was only doing that shit 1 time a week. Was just do it on Saturday. But the
Mm-hmm.
way I was eating
Yep.
it was bitches was like, damn, they want to touch you and shit. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, what? And it's because I was eating a certain way. Yeah, the way you eat, what you intake your body is more important than everything.
Is 80-20, man.
Unless you want to,
80% is nutrition.
the only time it's different is if you want to be like a big nigga like The Rock. You gotta eat a lot. You gotta do a lot of crazy shit to be like The
Mm-hmm.
Rock. I was just trying to be cut and be fit.
Yep.
Because the clothes I wear, it won't look right if I'm big.
Yeah.
Because you'll see like the muscles like this and shit, and I'll be looking
Mm-hmm.
crazy and shit. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
don't want to be big like The Rock, but I always want to be. I want to be able to be so strong enough so a big nigga can't just grab me and just do whatever the fuck he want.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to be big. Like that was never me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You got to go with the size that works with you. Like me, I like to have a little size on me, but I like to have definition. You know what I'm saying? And just be basically what I call bulk grip. That's me. I like that little size because when you got a little size on you, motherfuckers. I noticed that the motherfuckers think twice a little bit. They get a little intimidated. Okay, this motherfucker got a little size on him, and then they realize when you got that size on you, you can actually move. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers that got size, they can't move. I'm mobile with my shit.
They can't move, bro.
They can't move for shit.
And that's the reason why I never wanted to be too bulky.
Mm-hmm.
I already got natural size on me,
Mm-hmm.
and when I cut down,
Mm-hmm.
it's muscle under there. You know what I mean? And you see it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I'm never a frail guy, but when I cut down, it's ripped.
And that's
Kinda,
why you got a lot of
it's a boxer's body. It's a boxer's
yeah,
body.
because that's what you do. That's what you've been doing. You sparring, plus you boxed. So when you're in that level of shape, your body's always gonna naturally have some foundation. It's gonna have muscle memory. It's gonna remember certain things. Me, I'm always a person. I'm always working out, even if it's just doing a hit workout, an intense one, 30 minutes. I'm always doing something where I'm sweating myself out and getting a good work in. But see, a lot of you average motherfuckers that are fat as fuck, drinking your fucking beers and shit, and talking like you know the element of personal training, that shit is funny to me. I mean, I've had motherfuckers that's fat as fuck on my panel basically saying Blu-ray is the shit. And I'm looking at you like, and then would look at me and say, but you train, yeah, if I train, shut the fuck up and listen to me. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And going off of what Blu-ray did. What Blu-ray did is great, but it's only great in one aspect. It's limited. It's old school shit. It's archaic shit when motherfuckers would just get you in shape physically. He doesn't have a complete package. If Blu-ray smart, Blu-ray should work on this element. He should work on having a nutritionist under him. He should work on having a whole team, basically a one-stop shop, and then come back to the drawing board, like Ross said, and stop making it about him. Make it about the fighter. If he comes back with that mindset, he'll become successful.
Or if you don't feel like hiring a nutrition, learn how to cook yourself and learn how to do it. But you got to do it. But think about Blu-ray.
But a nigga like that want to be, you remember we were talking about that shit on the powwow? A nigga like that ain't gonna be doing all that because he too busy want to wear his flamboyant red fucking what they call that shit, feather coat. Niggas like that ain't trying to cook. And wearing a flamboyant red feather coat, they ain't trying to cook. Come on, man.
The thing about Blu-ray is this. What he did is great. Because I go by your results. Mm-hmm. But what he did was greater than what it actually was because who he was doing it with. Exactly. What he did can't work with everybody because everybody's not built to be able to take that type of punishment their body.
No.
That what he was doing would break down a lot of people. Errol Spence, as you can see, he's built a certain way. God created him a certain way. He survived a Ferrari crash.
Thank you, Ross, for saying that. And you know what? Ross gets the first credit for that because whenever I reuse my voice and I start talking again, when you motherfuckers actually donate to motivate, then I'll start talking again. The key operative word, donate to motivate. I'll talk again. But here's the thing. I'm glad Ross said that because if Blu-ray goes and tries to use his actual style of training on any other fighter, he will break them down. Errol Spence is built too big, too durable, and too forward tough. That's why he can handle the shit. If you see Blu-ray go do that shit to a Terrence Crawford type fighter, man, that motherfucker will retire the next fucking day.
He'll break Crawford down. Only other niggas in that's boxing right now that could probably do that shit is the Charlos.
Yep. And the Charlos don't need that shit because the Charlos already are so work ethic-y, already so ripped, and they already work so hard. So they don't need this motherfucker.
Motherfucker who need him, the motherfucker who need him, they ain't gonna hire him. Is motherfucking Canelo, so he can stop cheating.
Yeah,
Canelo need Blu-ray because that nigga be cheating, man.
Yep, I saw your video. You showed the steroid striations of Canelo and shit like that. That was hilarious as hell. That's what Canelo's gonna have to look. He's gonna have to really look like a bodybuilder going up against Jamal Charlo. And then even then he would get flatlined even worse because guess what? He would be slowing himself down even more.
It's crazy Jordan 6 Bishop said that because I always said that and people thought I was trying to hate on. They thought I was trying to hate on Errol Spence by saying that he was the Marvin. That's because they don't realize how good Marvin Hagler was.
No, they don't. How complete
Marvin Hagler was. He's in my top 5. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yep, he's in my top 3.
The reason why I don't have him over Floyd is because Floyd will never be big enough to fight Marvin Hagler. But if Floyd had to fight Marvin Hagler and they had like a trilogy, I don't believe Floyd would beat Marvin Hagler 3 times in a row.
No. I think it'll be 1-1, and then Floyd would edge him on the 3rd time.
Yeah, I believe he'll lose one of those fights because Marvin Hagler, not only could he hit hard, but he could actually really box.
Yep.
Just like if Floyd fought Errol Spence prime for prime, Errol Spence would win one of those fights. He won't just watch Errol Spence
because those guys are built to box. They're built,
and not only that, they're not going to be mentally intimidated.
Exactly.
Reason why I don't say Sugar Ray Leonard showed you could get in his head.
Yep.
He let a nigga that didn't even know English get in his head.
Yep.
So what the fuck how would he fare against a Floyd Mayweather Jr., man?
Yep.
When Roberto Duran got in his head, man. Roberto Duran didn't even have functioning English.
Yep.
He knew about 30 words in English, man.
Now, Ross, I'm glad you said that shit because I just got a comment that came into my shit. And see, this is how ignorant people and fight fans are. They said, but who gave Earl the True Spence a detached retina in sparring? Do you understand that that's the worst that Spence has ever gotten in sparring? Do you understand that Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Anthony Joshua has been knocked out for days? They've been concussed in sparring. So why they talking about Earl the True Spence being a detached retina in sparring?
He's been knocked out several times in sparring, man.
Thank you. Do you guys know this shit or you don't? or you just focusing on Earl Spence having a detached retina in sparring?
If you listen to the Klitschko brothers said they sparred with all those guys. They said Deontay Wilder was the best one. They
Yep.
said Tyson Fury was getting knocked out all the time when they were
All the
sparring
time.
against Tyson Fury.
Yep.
Tyson Fury had those boys had to get old for these young boys to get on their ass. And the only one they wouldn't fight, the only one that they wouldn't fight, they avoided was Deontay Wilder. You see, they fought Tyson Fury, they fought Anthony Joshua. They avoided Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder was going to put an end to them.
Yeah, Vladimir Klitschko sparred with the young Deontay Wilder, and even then when he sparred with the young Deontay Wilder, he told Deontay Wilder to hold back his punches, don't go too full bore. Because in sparring, you can tell people the levels on. You can set the rules of engagement, especially when you're the premier person that the person is sparring. You can set the rules of engagement on how you want to spar, and he would tell Deontay Wilder to pull his punches.
Right, and that was according to my little brother that was there for the sparring. My little brother used to live in Vegas, and he was in there. He said that when Floyd and them first was sparring, that Floyd thought he was in there to work on some shit, and Spence was in there really fighting.
Yeah,
so he had to adjust and start really fighting as well.
Yep.
Then after that, he got mad because that's not what he hired him for. He said, "Man, fuck you." And then Floyd he's a fair person. He brought him back the next day, and then they just fought for real.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But he said,
but let's be honest, Floyd needed to be pushed that way because the motherfucker just came out of jail, and he was about to fight a fighter in Robert Guerrero. Let's be honest, if Spence didn't work Floyd the way he worked Floyd, Robert Guerrero. A lot of people don't understand this. Robert Guerrero was a dangerous fighter.
Because Floyd
if Floyd didn't have those defensive legs prepared, Floyd would have kind of looked like kind of a Maidana-ish type of fight.
Because Floyd was out of boxing for so long. Well, if you ask me, Errol Spence sparring didn't just prepare Floyd just for that. It prepared Floyd for the rest part of his career.
It did.
Because Floyd was in there dumping. People don't realize what Floyd did when he fought Maidana the first time. He essentially fought a middleweight, a borderline super middleweight.
Kind of like when he fought Canelo, right? Maidana came in that bitch. Well, Canelo was a light heavyweight when he fought him, right?
Maidana came in that bitch 168 some pounds, man.
Canelo was what, 172? So he basically fought a light heavyweight in Canelo, right?
So and Floyd. He was in there. He ain't fight Maidana like he fought Canelo. He was in there. He fought Maidana against the ropes, just basically traded punches and shit.
Yep.
So that spin shit got him ready for that. And then people don't realize this. Floyd was actually hurting Maidana, man. Watch the fight and look at the body blows. Maidana was getting crunched up. He getting hit, and he had to stop and reset. He was getting crunched.
Well, one sign of a fighter getting hurt is they slow down, right? They're not as active, right? That's the very first sign, right? This motherfucker was going there throwing so many punches, and he started slowing the fuck down. Why?
Started slowing down, but not even that. Just look at the reaction. Floyd was throwing a shovel. A shovel hook ain't nothing but a left hook to the body.
Yeah,
Floyd was throwing a shovel hook to the body, and Maidana, mind you, he's 20 pounds heavier than Floyd. He crunched it over.
Yep.
If he would have came in the regular weight, a couple of pounds heavier than 147, because you know you're going to gain a couple of pounds after you weigh in the first time, he would have got stopped to the body. A lot of these Latino fighters put on all that weight for the same reason Tyson Fury put on all that weight.
Yep.
So they can't get stopped, so they can't get knocked out. If Tyson Fury become in those fights regular heavyweight and not 80 pounds heavier than Deontay Wilder, he gets fucking stopped, man.
Yep.
Because it's physics. He's able to withstand that blow because when you get hit, the kinetic energy go throughout your whole body. So the smaller you are, the easier it is to knock you out. The bigger you are, the harder it is. So that's why he comes in damn near 80 pounds heavier than Deontay Wilder, because he knows at some point he's going to get dropped.
Interesting you said that, because
that's the reason why I don't respect Tyson Fury like I respect everybody else.
That's why Jordan, 6-time Bishop, said Floyd Mayweather and Earl Spence helped each other. I know Ross said Earl
Yeah.
helped Floyd, but Floyd helped Earl because Floyd
Oh,
showed
oh,
Earl
oh. Floyd helped
how to
Earl go
box.
without saying. It goes without saying.
Floyd helped Earl to show Earl how to be technical because Earl was already technical, but he wasn't Floyd level technical. And Floyd taught him how to be technical. Those are the lessons that you see that carried on when Earl started fighting elite competition, like the Sean Porter fight, the Danny Garcia fight. He was able to draw from that sparring how to be technical.
Because everybody you can't knock out.
Yep.
Sometimes people don't realize this. And me, I moved to the south side of Chicago. In Chicago, south side, you fight all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You fight all the time. On the west side, it's more the west side is more organized crime. So it's
Niggas
more
finessing niggas.
you fight when somebody fuck with your family, or you got a young boy that you fuck with and you raising him up and somebody fucking with him, and then you gotta go demonstrate because this young boy, man, nobody fuck with him
Mm-hmm.
but me. So you gotta go lay down law and shit. But you don't fight. That's not how you show how you are alpha out west. Out west, you show you are alpha, so intellect, how you make moves, how you provide for other niggas. Niggas come to you for advice. But our south is more of a primitive thing, right? And sometimes, some days you wake up and you done ate good, you done ate light, and you have a lot of energy, and you fight a lot better than some days. You got the same, you still got the same knowledge of fighting, but you just feel better some days. Some
Yep.
days you don't have it to knock everybody out,
Facts.
but if you had the skills, you could beat everybody still.
Facts.
That's the reason why he was still able to beat these guys after Lamont Peterson, even though he wasn't doing the best thing for his body
I'm glad
because
you
he had
said that. I'm glad
because
you
he had
said
the
that
skill.
because here's the thing, Ross, and people got to pay attention to this. You guys are getting a treat here because we don't cover boxing like this no more. So y'all need to treat this shit like fucking royalty. Donate to fucking motivate. Y'all start donating. If we see, I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Ross see $100 of donation today, then it'll let us know that this topic will continue on, not consistently, but when we feel and choose to cover it. So we need to see $100 minimum donation with as many motherfuckers as in here. We need to see $100 donation. That's a $50 split each for us to sit here and to entertain this topic. If we don't see this shit by the time this live ends, y'all gonna get this shit when it's time on the rotation for us to give y'all. We're gonna starve y'all motherfuckers out again. It's gonna be another fucking Cold War situation. I'm just telling y'all
But
motherfuckers right now, $100 donation.
let me explain why that is, because a lot of people might be like, man, fuck y'all niggas. Y'all niggas can't say that. Reason why we saying that is because, bro, we be on other channels. And we be seeing niggas donate to channels that don't give them nothing but gossip, man. All the
Yep.
fuck these niggas give you is Floyd Mayweather holding Javante Davis back.
Mm-hmm.
Al Heyman is bad for boxing. Um, first it was on Deontay Wilder's dick, and then when Deontay Wilder lost, they just cast Deontay Wilder to the side. I ain't gonna do my brother like that. I feel like he's a bad businessman. But I feel like as far as heavyweights is concerned, he ain't at the bottom of heavyweights. Heavyweights lost skill a long time ago. Lenz Lewis was the last highly skilled heavyweight. Ever since Lenz Lewis retired, they've been all of them lack skills. Ain't just Deontay Wilder. And Tyson Fury, he a little slick, but Tyson Fury, he need PEDs and loaded gloves to compete. So my thing with Deontay Wilder's right where he need to be. Deontay Wilder come back. He right where he need. All he needs is a couple of good wins, and he'll be back, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna cast my brother to the side, but he need to realize when you the A side, you act like you the A side.
Mm-hmm.
These niggas talking about they finna use these gloves that already got dents in them and shit. You say, you know what? No fight.
Yep.
Unless you know they find new gloves. That's what happens.
Yep.
Maidana and them try to do that to Floyd. And if he wouldn't have let these people talk about, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened to Deontay Wilder. The same thing they did to Joe Louis. Did you know Joe Louis' career? They were trying to keep him out of title fight. So what they did back then, the title fight was the undisputed championship. The title fight was the undisputed championship back then because it was only one belt.
Yep.
So they was trying to keep him on the title fight. So they said, man, you could get this title fight, but you got to give 40, 30 or some percent of your royalties for the rest of your career to this white man. If you're willing to do that, you could get it. They finessed him out of hundreds of thousands of dollars for the rest of his career. $100,000 is millions of dollars back then. This is the 30s. $100,000 back then is like $3 million. That's what y'all not understanding. They finessed this nigga. And then what they told him, Joe Louis, if you're gonna be the heavyweight champion in the world, you gotta act like this way. You can't be like Jack Johnson. You can't talk to no white women. You gotta always support the military. All this shit was in his contract. He had to do all this sellout shit just to be the champion. So you know what they told Deontay Wilder? You could be the champion, but you gotta be against Floyd.
Yep.
And he went for it. Because at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder's a good dude. He's want to provide for his baby girl, man.
Yep.
But sometimes as black men, we got to realize we got to find another alternative way. And it ain't always about fitting in and doing what these white folks say.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to do it the hard way. You got to do it the Floyd Mayweather way. Sometimes you got to be hated. You know who learned that now? Spence is learning that now. Because Spence never kissed nobody else, but Spence wanted to be looked at like Sugar Ray Leonard, but now he realized what he got to do to be looked at as Sugar Ray Leonard, and now he telling people to kiss his fucking ass.
Yep.
Because I ain't finna do that. And y'all try to turn me against Floyd, me and Floyd different, but I ain't gonna talk bad about Floyd on TV. I ain't gonna do that. Yep. And you could tell he liked Floyd, but there's some things that Floyd do that he don't like, but he will never say that on TV.
Yep.
They brought him on First Take to get him to talk. They brought him on Undisputed. First thing they said was try to get him to say something negative about Floyd. He ain't do it.
Yep.
That's how you do it, man. You build your shit the long way. The fast way, you say some bad shit about Floyd, and next you know, they prop you up. But now you gotta look yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I don't even agree with that shit, man. I did that shit just for the money. So that's the thing, bro. That's the difference, man. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. I'm quite sure Crawford got approached the same way. It's the reason why Crawford always saying negative shit about Floyd. It's the reason why these boxers, what's the name that just got his ass whooped? The dude he's wearing the red hair, little dude, always has something negative to say about black fighters.
Blair Cobbs.
Not just Blair, no, the dark skinned dude used to wear the red little thing up here.
You talking about Colbert, Chris Colbert.
There's a reason why these black fighters always tearing down their own people. It's little conversations behind closed doors.
That's Jordan 6-time Bishop. And I'm gonna interject on Ross, but he's talking money here. Which way did you donate it? You said you donated. He knows. Did you donate to me? Did you donate to Ross? Because I put both my Cash App and I put Ross's Venmo. So which way did you donate it so that we know? And how much did you donate? Put that in there. Everybody else that's fucking listening, donate to fucking motivate. I'm telling you motherfuckers right now, I'm giving you guys this warning so that when you see the starve out, you motherfuckers gonna be mad because y'all motherfuckers know we the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant of this shit. Y'all gonna be mad Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant ain't delivering the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant information. So y'all want us to keep covering this shit. Okay, Jordan 6-time Bishop say he donated $50. That's what I'm talking about. Which way did you donate $50? We need to know.
He probably dropped it on you.
Okay, because I ain't got a message that tell me I ain't got a message because my Cash App would have let me know if you had donated, bro. Yeah, my shit ain't come in. So just let us know which way you donated because I have the banner there that says had money sign, that heat and that fire, and then we got Tom Ross. I put it in there. Venmo at Thomas-Ross-43. So we need to know which way you donated the 50 because we don't want that 50 to go somewhere it shouldn't have gone. But that's half of the success rate. So now we need another $50 fucking dollars. Once we receive this shit, for motherfuckers to donate 100. Once y'all donate $100, me and Ross will say we will go like this to y'all, and we will say, okay, the
At
next
least once a
time
week.
you'll get the information. The next time we'll talk about it. You see,
The,
Ross, because he's my partner, he said once a week, we'll give you once a week.
the reason why it's like this is because we've been on these channels and we see how these other guys who don't give y'all shit is treated. They'll be saying the reason why they treat that way. Even though they don't give y'all shit, they demand it like a motherfucker. They gave you the same shit ESPN gave you. But in these guys' chats, they don't even respond to your comments unless you pay them. Niggas respond to your comments. And it could be some shit that's disrespectful. Niggas respond to the comments, but it's not the same love. When you don't realize this, time is now. I hate to say time is money because it's bigger than money. Time is a luxury, bro, and you can spend your time doing anything. Someone spending their time give you the sport, but giving you the backbone of boxing and backbone of sports, particularly boxing, is a racist element. Niggas is breaking down all this deep shit, and you soaking up the game, but you're not showing no love. That's a slap in the face because we see what y'all show love to, and it's trash.
Yep.
Boxing Eagle talking about niggas' bodies and they V's. A V don't exist to me. I ain't never noticed a nigga V on his body.
No, I never even did until he described the shit.
Right. I don't look that far down to notice a nigga V. You know what I'm saying? I don't even notice niggas V's, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's too close to their print. I don't notice that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you got other niggas. All Fanon do is gossip. The gossip about Floyd. How you don't like Floyd? All motherfucking baby boy do barbershop conversation is complaining about Al Heyman. They not giving you nothing real. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why at first, if y'all pay attention to me and I never used to ask for donations. I never used to promote my Venmo. I never used to say so. I never used to ask for nothing until I realized if you don't ask for shit, niggas will just keep soaking up the game, keep soaking shit up, and they'll never show love to you if you don't demand it. They'll never show love.
All right, I put it up there, Jordan. Did you send it to my Cash App, money sign that heat and that fire, or Tom Ross's Venmo at Tom Ross-43, or my YouTube super chat? We need to know which one. Make it clear, bro. And then once we know, we on our end will know that okay, that's half of the process. But right now, it still stands as $100. When we're gonna go, we ain't losing this live no time soon. We usually do about 3 hours and some change. So y'all niggas have about a good hour and some change left to get us to that goal, $100 of donation, so that we could entertain covering this shit once a week. We're gonna hold you motherfuckers to this standard from here on out because we're giving you guys the best creme de la creme shit. And the Bible says, if a man doesn't work, he shall not eat. But if a man works, he deserves his labor. He deserves the labor of what he works, and he can ask for it. The disciples that became apostles, they asked for their labor when they worked. People let them stay where they were at. People fed them. That was the earning of the labor of them preaching the gospel. So when a person works, they deserve the earnings and they deserve the worth for the labor that they gave out. And the labor that we're giving you guys out is we're giving you that heat and that fire, and we're separating the weak from the strong. So from here on out, you will be demanded, you will be commanded to donate to motivate. We're not playing with you guys because we know you fuck niggas do this shit on other channels. I'm holding you motherfuckers feet to the fucking fire. I seen y'all come in, salute $100, and motherfuckers walk away $2,000 in the bank, and it be channels talking about homosexuality, talking about niggas' bodies going ooh, and y'all thumbing the shit, feeding into y'all own homosexuality. But y'all giving these niggas $2,000. So y'all could easily give me, and I'm asking for something simple, $100. I know y'all motherfuckers got $100 because y'all motherfuckers on the weekend will blow $100 on a Hennessy bottle at the club. Like it ain't shit. So instead of doing that, donate it to something that's enlightening your mind, or donate that bitch over here.
Yeah, bro. Um. So while we at it, let's just air out everybody.
Go ahead, bro.
So Money Brown TV. What people don't realize is I got respect for this brother, but I understand when something works for you, you go to the well. But it's something about going to the well on somebody whom we all know is undeserving, man.
Mm-hmm.
We all know in boxing that Canelo Alvarez is a PED cheat.
Facts.
So how do you feel comfortable promoting him as some great when he's a PED cheat?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel comfortable doing that?
Mm-hmm.
I understand it's working, you know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez says Errol Spence needs to bow down. Canelo Alvarez says Jamal Charlo is beneath him. All that, but bro, what did Canelo Alvarez say about those PEDs he took? You know what I mean? What did he say about that? Because in my eyes, once you take PEDs, you being in the top in the greats is over with.
That's it.
I don't miss a Roy Jones Jr. in my greats. He a PED cheat.
Mm-hmm.
He a PED cheat. So I don't know which one of those fights he took was real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one he was real. Then when he started fighting competition, he started to get slumped.
Facts.
So I don't know which one was real. To me, Bernard Hopkins is above Roy Jones Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't cheat. So if I feel like that about Roy Jones Jr., how you think I feel about Canelo?
Facts.
So that's my thing, bro. My thing is there's no hate when a black man hold other black men accountable on this boxing shit, bro. And that's the
Yep.
reason why I had to go away from boxing for so long. Because every time you hold somebody accountable, you would hate him.
Mm-hmm.
You would hate him. Like, hold on, you're a black man, and you said you're attacking Floyd. I'm a black man. I'm protecting another black man, but I'm hating. You attack Floyd, but you don't attack Tyson Fury. Which one of these guys are a cheat?
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these guys cheated the sport of boxing several times? So why is it that you can hold Floyd accountable to the umpteenth letter of the law, but you can't call out Tyson Fury? You can't call
All
out.
right, Jordan. I think I saw a cash. I see a cash app that says pending. Did you send two? Did you send two the equivalent of $100? Because if you did, that's a double salute. Did you send two? Because it says one sent at 259 and another one sent at 3. Jordan's making sure, Ross, we cover this shit once a week. I just need to know, did you send two cash app?
Or he made a mistake, so let's make sure he didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, let's make sure you didn't make a mistake. Did you send two or did you send one? He said, yes, I sent two. So you really want us. Okay, now we changing this shit up because this shit too easy. Jordan gave us $100. Now, Jordan, is your job. We're definitely gonna cover it next week. But to cover it continuously, we need all you other lazy motherfuckers. If Jordan by himself can contribute $100, we need the other 10 of you motherfuckers to come up with the other 100, so we can make this to $200. Y'all lazy motherfuckers can do it, because if one man can do $100 donation, we need you lazy motherfuckers to come up with $100, because this man by himself did it.
He definitely was supposed to do all that shit by himself. But I salute you. I salute you for doing that. Good luck. Bro, we don't realize is me and he knows we actually appreciate our subscribers, man.
We do. And Jordan, we appreciate you.
We sit down and we have powwows on how we can make our channels better. How we can make them more entertaining. How we can touch on more topics. Blase. How we could attack certain things. So we appreciate our subscribers. So anytime y'all do shit like this, it's greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? It's greatly appreciated. But yeah, you shouldn't have had to do that by yourself, because there's 10 people in here. each person could have gave $10. But I go to show
Yep.
you how some people want to soak up the game and they don't give a fuck about anything, bro. Salute, Jordan 6, salute, bro. Straight up, real talk,
All right.
real talk.
Now we still, hey, y'all motherfuckers ain't off the hook. See, y'all, Ross, because he's my fellow partner. Jordan, you've extended it for one more week. Well, next week we're gonna cover another boxing talk. But y'all want this shit indefinitely. Jordan gets a double salute. Now every other motherfucker needs to donate the other $100 to make $200. We ain't playing with y'all. Y'all want an indefinite once a week. Y'all gotta donate the other $100. And let me tell you something about you motherfuckers. After you donate your $100, every week we're gonna expect a minimum every week when we get on live, a minimum of $50 before the live ends. That's a respectable number, and that can be spreaded across the board. I don't care how that shit is spreaded. Every week we're gonna expect a minimum of $50 after that. But y'all motherfuckers need to catch up and give us the other $100. If we don't get this other $100, y'all gonna get one more week extended because of Jordan. But after that, we're gonna starve the fuck out of you bitches. Go ahead, Ross.
Let me explain to them why that makes sense. Because what other people are doing, what they're doing is they never stop covering certain shit. They just say, salute, bro. They just say, all right, my boxing is now on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to get boxing, you gotta subscribe $15 a month. That's way more money than what niggas asking for right now. Because when you think about it, it's 12 months in a fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's 12 months in a year. And they talking to thousands of people. And when you think about what they giving you, they ain't giving you shit. They ain't giving you nothing to think about, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't giving you nothing to break down. They give you shit you could go get off of ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody know who finna fight next, and everybody know like they breaking out shit that's on ESPN already. They going and they replaying the weigh-ins.
Mm-hmm.
You could get that for free.
Yeah. And who the
Why you
fuck
paying
wants to
for
keep
that?
hearing? Who the fuck wants to keep hearing lightweight 135? No, we already fucking know that shit.
You know what I'm
We already
saying?
know the motherfucker's a lightweight. We already know he's a 135 pounder. We already know he's a 5-time champion. And y'all sitting here donating the shit like that. And Ross is telling you about the systemic double standards that's associated with boxing. And I'm sitting here telling you about what's the difference between a full-fledged, when you're rocking with the best, you don't settle for the fucking rest. Y'all getting this shit on that heat and that fire and separating the weak from the strong. Y'all bullshitting. You see, when we start challenging you motherfuckers for money, look, now the viewership's gone down a little bit. That's good. And that's perfectly fine with me because guess what? I don't give two cows fucks. Y'all motherfuckers, now y'all giving me my answer. This live ends. I don't get this other $100. Y'all bitches getting starved after next week. Next week, out of Jordan, we're going to give you one more. After that, we're going to starve the fuck out of you bitches. So you better donate that other $100. I ain't playing with you motherfuckers. I need to see the other $100 so that me and Ross can split 100 each. I ain't playing with y'all. Go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, man. So back to this deep rooted homosexuality shit. This is the reason why there needs to be a black man in the house, man. If there's a black man in these houses, guess what? You don't have niggas making segments about detailed body work of a boxer, bro.
Facts.
There's one thing saying a boxer looks better than he did the last fight.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's ready to go. It's another thing commenting about the sweat glistening on the nigga body, counting, you know what I mean? Talking about the nigga V and sexualizing the man.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a woman covering boxing and she was doing that, I would salute her and I wouldn't care because it's her natural instinct to talk about those type of things.
Yep.
She's a woman.
Yep.
And we unnatural. We don't even mean it sometimes. I sexualize volleyball players and women who run track and shit. You know what I mean? I'm a man. I see that they're the best at what they do, and I also see a beautiful woman.
Yep.
But I don't see a beautiful man when I see Errol Spence, I see a boxer.
There you go.
It's not a beauty. I mean, he ain't no ugly nigga. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's handsome, whatever. But I could give a compliment and not feel. But when you go into detail of the
Mm-hmm.
body and he's looking good and the sweat
Mm-hmm.
dripping off the nigga, that's way too much, man.
Yeah.
That's way too much, man.
Yep.
Like when the nigga get a haircut, I be like, man, you got a fresh haircut, you look good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm secure in my masculinity, but that
Mm-hmm.
goes only so far, bro. You can tell the
Mm-hmm.
nigga that his shoes, those are nice shoes, you got a nice haircut, you look good. Those are new glasses, man, those shit's fly.
Mm-hmm.
Then we start talking about, man, those sweatpants look good on you. You
Mm-hmm.
wildin'. You
Mm-hmm.
tripping. What fuck
Mm-hmm.
you mean sweatpants look good on me, nigga? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? We start talking about
The fuck
you
you
start
looking
talking
at? What are you looking at in the sweatpants for you to come up to a conclusion that your sweatpants look good? Are you looking
yeah,
at a nigga's dick print? The fuck?
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with you noticing somebody is a handsome person. That don't mean you
Mm-hmm.
want to lay in the bed with them. When you start
Yeah.
talking about their body in detail
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over again, we knew you felt that way the last fight, nigga, when you
We
fought
knew there was
Peterson.
sugar in your fucking tank. Now we
You
know
don't
when
gotta
you
keep
when you're interviewing these fighters, but guys like Boxing Ego walking around with a heart on. That's why they look the way they look. They get that glitter in their eyes, like you get a glitter when you look at a woman. There's this volleyball woman. Oh my gosh, Ross! I don't know if you know who the fuck I'm talking about. Hey,
I
raise
covered
y'all
her.
fucking hands if
I
y'all know who
covered
the
her.
fuck I'm talking about.
I covered her. She's tall and thick as hell.
She's tall. I knew Ross would fucking know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Nigga, I
This
covered her.
motherfucker got an ass out the world.
I covered her. I got
Man,
a
if
shirt.
I ever see that motherfucker, Ross, if I
Yeah.
ever see that motherfucker, she's gonna get gamed. She's gonna get dick down and tossed on the side of the damn street. I ain't playing with y'all. That
She's
motherfucker's
from
ass is
she
the size of the fucking moon.
she's from some type of island. She got a long ass name.
Man, that ass is the size of a moon, boy. I'd beat that shit to fucking sleep.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
play that Chris Brown, fuck you back to sleep type shit and beat that shit down. Now, that's what you do. As a man, you talk about motherfuckers like that and you fantasize over motherfuckers like that because it's the opposite sex. You don't sit there and start fantasizing over them damn Earl the Truth, man. The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Something's questionable. And if you guys look at the way that Boxing Ego takes pictures and the way he gloss up his lips and shit like that, that is prevalent of someone telling you guys effeminate fucking behavior. If I seen this motherfucker in person, I would tell no difference between him and Young Thug. I could tell no difference between either one of them. I'd tell you they probably walk around with a hand purse. If you notice, there's never been a female next to Boxing Ego. That's why his name, y'all motherfuckers need to tell him that shit when you go on his channel. His name is not Boxing Ego, it's Boxing Homo. That's what his fucking name is. I'm gonna say it again, not Boxing Ego, Boxing Homo. He needs to get rid of that
Mm-hmm.
Weight Watchers segment because you don't sit there and cover fighters and sit there and gloss over fighters and basically say, look at how oiled up. I've heard shit like this come out this motherfucker's mouth. Look how oiled up, even Adrian Broner. Look how oiled up Adrian Broner is. Look how glycerine Earl the True Spence muscles is. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. We already have an idea what
Mm-hmm.
kind of porno you watching. You watching the Brokeback Mountain version of porno. We know that. We ain't fools over here.
Exactly.
So we got to call this shit out for what it is. Clean up these boxing streets. We don't need to see guys like Barbershop Conversation. Let's be honest. He's facially fucking challenged like a motherfucker. Just like we can sit here and say a motherfucker look a certain way, we can also say when motherfucker's facially challenged. We get it. So you want to make up for that and you want to, show your body or whatever. Me and Ross, we don't have that problem because we have what's called the handsome man game. Bitches just find us handsome and shit like that. So it's a little different when they find you handsome as opposed to when you ugly as fuck. And I could just say that straight up. There's some ugly motherfuckers. There's some niggas out there that's ugly as shit. So I guess he's overcompensating for that and trying to show his body or whatever. But you're supposed to do that to the females, not to me, not to Ross, not to y'all. And y'all sitting here hitting the thumbs up on that bullshit. This man has a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Wife that's basically saying, I'm spreading my legs here, fuck me. and you're not satisfied, you're not validated by that. You got to come out and now get naked, basically, and show your V. I didn't even understand he was showing V until Ross. That's how much I didn't even look at this shit. I just did one quick glance and said, "Oh, this shit got to be on the community post because
No,
this
no, no,
is."
no. I ain't noticed. No, I ain't noticed his V. Well,
Okay.
because
I didn't mean it like
I
that,
ain't look
Ross.
down.
I didn't mean you was detailed with the shit now.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
ain't
mean you was
what
detailed.
I
I
knew.
just figured you probably saw that he probably went as far as the detail to show a V. I didn't mean you was looking at the shit like that.
Yeah,
But and
what I
I'll
knew
correct
what he
that.
was talking about the V's. When I'm talking about the V's, I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
boxing ego that be
Oh,
making niggas
boxing
focus
Epo.
on
Okay.
that be making niggas that be making niggas focus on the boxers V's and shit. This old
Oh,
girl
there you go.
that you talking about,
There you go. That motherfucker right there,
thick as
boy. Whoosh.
hell. Look at the video.
Whoosh.
Look at the picture of her sit. Look at the picture of her laying down. Look at her
Right
ass on the
there. The
back.
one in the middle.
Now,
Man, that motherfucker
now
right
if
there, I'm
you
gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, that motherfucker right there would be smashed to fucking smithereens. I kid you not. She'd be smashed to the fucking
now
smithereens.
now if
Now
you
that's a
gonna
grown
be
ass
on
woman
there
right
talking,
there.
if you're gonna be on there talking about somebody's body as a man, it should
Mm-hmm.
be a woman, bro, not no
Thank you.
man. You see how
Thank
we
you.
fawning over this woman? You see
Yes.
how we fawning over her
You could
because she a
tell she got a
woman,
big
bro?
ass. You could tell she got a big ass because look, she got her head cocked and look at them cheeks. Them things clapping at you. Them things telling you, hello, what's my name? That's what you need to be fawning over. Not no fucking
Not no
Earl the Truth
man,
Spence
bro.
or what the fuck?
Talking about they damn V.
Yeah.
Like, come
I
on
knew
now.
Ross was gonna know. I knew Ross was gonna know who the fuck I was talking about. Immediately when I said that shit. I knew
You
that
damn
shit.
right.
And you see, if you guys look at the banner in the back, you got Spence and you got Floyd. That's what we fucking rock with. We don't fucking rock with nobody else, man. Because when you're rocking with the
Mm-hmm.
best, you don't settle for the fucking rest, man. We got time to be settling for the fucking rest. That's what I try to tell y'all. But I'm glad Ross brought that picture up and gave that great example because this is what we need to be talking about. Not guys, we need to clean up these boxing streets and clean up the fact that first of all, boxing is a masculine sport. It's a sport that's supposed to ooze testosterone. Am I lying, Ross?
Nah, you're
Why are
not
we
lying.
feminizing the shit?
I don't know why the fuck motherfuckers are doing that. They need to get their shit together.
Exactly.
They need to get their shit together because I've had people on the live say the reason why they like Canelo and the reason why Canelo is better than everybody else is Canelo is because they didn't say Canelo a handsome man. They said the reason why
Mm-hmm.
Canelo is the greatest because he's handsome. And they
Yep.
said it said people hate on Lomachenko because he's pretty. And when they
Yep.
said that, I knew a lot of black men they're starting to lose that masculinity. They're starting to be
Exactly.
raised to think like women. Since when
Yep.
you start judging a nigga's ability in a sport based on him being handsome or not?
Exactly.
That's what women do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women was saying Derek Jeter this, Derek Jeter that, and never watched boxing because they liked how Derek Jeter never watched baseball because they liked how Derek Jeter looked. Just so happened
But
he
what are
really
they
was
paying?
that.
Derek Jeter's ass?
Say what?
What are they paying attention to? Derek Jeter's ass?
No, women. A lot of women.
Oh, women. Okay, I was gonna
A lot
say.
of women were saying Derek Jeter this, Derek Jeter that, just because they liked the
Okay.
way he looked. Just so happened he
Exactly.
was really a
That
good.
makes sense.
Just so happened he was really a good baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine hearing a man say Derek Jeter this, Derek Jeter that, just based solely upon how he looks.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
Yeah. Me and
That's
Ross have
weird.
had females. We've had females on lives through this platform. On basketball, there was one that was fawning over Ross like crazy, but we had a beta male that was trying to get at her, and basically she just made Ross. He made Ross look even more of a superstar because Ross just wasn't paying her no mind. I had it on the boxing side where I had a girl just fawning over me and just basically doing the woofing of the hair and just all giggly and smiling. This is what you want. You want shit like this
Mm-hmm.
from the opposite sex. You don't want that shit from dudes that look just like you. The fuck?
What the fuck with me and
Hairy
he know?
ass men. The fuck?
What would we look like coming on this bitch with our shirts off or in wife beaters and shit, talking to y'all?
Exactly.
What the fuck we trying to prove?
Exactly.
This a boxing topic.
Exactly. That's just like in the red pill community. You got guys that give you alpha male talk, and they sitting here in their fucking tank tops showing all their muscles and shit, but their audience is men. If you're coaching men, why the fuck are you showing them all that shit?
Trust me, nigga. I don't want to see that.
That tells me you're doing that to get that attention because you either there's one or three things. And see, there's a lot of deep cover brothers, man. They don't want to admit the shit. I know this to be true, but there's a lot of deep cover. They probably humping fucking transsexuals. They humping these types of motherfuckers. There's a lot of deep cover motherfuckers out there, man.
Yeah, I said undercover. He said deep cover.
Yes, deep cover. And the reason why I say deep cover, not undercover, is because
That
they
shit's
making
funny.
it seem at least the undercover people, when you out them, like the Malik Yobas, they admit the shit, but then they try to blame it on some mental health shit. But they'll admit they like that. The deep cover motherfuckers, like the P. Diddy's of the world, they try to be in denial about the shit. They know damn well they doing that shit, but they trying to be in denial about it. And you got a lot of deep cover people. Barbershop conversation say he go to a lot of strip clubs. I think he go to a lot of transsexual strip clubs. Now I'm convinced because
Damn.
when you show your body like that on boxing channels and platforms for men, you're not going to no strip club where it's females you watching.
Mm-hmm.
You going to go see Magic fucking Mike. That's who the fuck you going to see, and you're
And you
going to
know
get
what?
broke back the fucking mountain.
And you know what? I want to say this real quick to the haters.
Mm-hmm.
To the haters who hated on me, who thought y'all was gonna stop me. Like, yeah, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna be able to post on my channel in a week, but I just had a video in the last hour do 41,000 views, man.
There you go.
So y'all not stopping shit, man. As long as
Nah,
me
y'all
and
not.
you and
And I want that
just
shit. Hey, Ross, I told you. Did I not tell you by the end of the week? You said this time next year. Fuck that shit. You're trending better. By the end of the week, that shit gonna be at 100K. I'm telling you this shit right now. By the end of the week, 100K.
yep.
100K by the end of the week. See, me, I have no hate in my bone, especially for this brother right here. I have nothing but congratulation and appreciation because I see the climb, I see the evolution, and I see the success. And when I see that in somebody, I salute them, man. Because at the end of the day, when Ross goes up, I know he's taking he knows with him. I ain't stupid. See, this is why you invest in people and you invest in people organically and authentically because they're gonna look out for you regardless. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
don't understand these principles. I understand it. Am I doing it for that reason? No. I'm just doing it because it's genuine for me to do it. It's just after so many trials and errors of motherfuckers either telling me you shouldn't work with this person because they jealous, like the Get 'em Mike boxing. I don't know. Does this channel exist? Y'all tell me in the comment section, man. I think this motherfucker disappeared. The chameleonaire dude that I canceled Christmas on his ass, man. I straight Tommy from Power his ass, canceled Christmas on this motherfucker on YouTube.
I ain't heard
Does it
from myself.
still fucking exist? I haven't ever heard from this motherfucker. I think he crawled into a hole and never came out of that shit. Motherfucker had the audacity to tell me you can't work. And this is why I tell you homosexuality is prevalent in YouTube. This motherfucker was telling me not to work with Beverly Rose, a female, because I was working with her. I like, damn, dog. You feeling me like that? It's like that. Oh, whoa. We don't roll like that over here, man. So homosexuality in boxing communities have been prevalent since then.
Mm-hmm.
It's been prevalent since then. And shout outs to Beverly Rose. I would never say anything negative about that beautiful sister. I would never say nothing negative. I don't say nothing negative about females.
I
Why?
just hate.
Because as a masculine male, you just don't do shit like that. You don't kiss and fucking tell.
I just hate the fact that she was treated the way she was treated by the LGBT.
I agree with that. I didn't like the fact that they put her ass on OnlyFans, hoard her out, and then basically, and this is supposed to be an evolution of treating your sisters like queen. I mean, that was my end game with her, to treat her like a fucking black queen.
Yeah, but sometimes you get into shit you don't even know. You don't know the ins and outs, and before
Mm-hmm.
you know it, you're in too deep. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But that's why I hate the fact when I dropped that video,
Mm-hmm.
like talking about what she meant, because what she meant to the boxing community as a black woman that actually understood boxing.
I
I
mean,
got
she understood that shit
I,
with the
I,
best of them.
I got comments saying, "Why you caping? Why you caping? Let the LDBC slut her out. Fuck that bitch." Hey, bro, y'all hate women that bad?
You
Like,
see?
bro, low key, you hate your low key. Your mama treat you like shit, and you need to step to your mother and be like, "Yo, you could have treated me better."
Yep.
Get the therapy you need, but
Yep.
don't take that shit out on the rest of the women of the world. Me,
Yeah.
I don't believe in. I don't believe in saving. I don't believe in paying no woman bills. They ain't doing nothing for you.
Mm-mm.
I don't believe
Mm-mm.
in being no goofy, but I do
Mm-mm.
believe in the common respect we supposed to have for women and the common
There you
respect
go.
they supposed to have for us.
There you go.
As you notice, I never came out my
And that's
face.
not building your sister up by
Yeah.
slutting her out and then basically saying, and look at y'all motherfuckers saying this shit. Oh yeah, why don't you slut her ass out? Da, 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 da. I mean, but y'all supposed to represent. It's what you represent. I don't care. See, if it was just a pornography thing and y'all was just basically slutting each other out from day one, I'd be okay with the shit. I'll say slut her ass out even
If there was
more.
a poor company, then yeah, they did their job. But they
Yeah,
came to
if
the
she
black
was being
community.
pinky XXS from day one, slut her ass out.
But they came to the black community saying we about the black people, we support the black people, we do this, we do that. Then next thing you
Exactly.
know, they did that. So I had lost
They did
respect for
that.
that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
It's a
and and
difference.
honestly, I just feel sorry for the situation. I feel sorry for her. That's it. Other than that,
Yeah.
other than that, she will always be A1, A class in my mind. She knows it. Deep down, she knows it. Always A1, A class. I'll never have nothing negative to say about her because I just don't roll that way. In my view, in my estimation, when you are alpha male, you should never have nothing negative to say about a woman. I don't have nothing negative to say about my ex-wife. I won't say nothing negative about her. Ross knows. I just won't.
Mhm.
When you are like that, you don't have nothing to say. Only if you are a beta male or if you have a fucking mangina, you kiss and fucking tell, and you have something negative to say about a woman. I just don't. Any woman that I've been with, any woman that I've been related, that's why you can go 20 X's back. They'll tell you, man, if you mention my name, shit, he's still around, he's still alive. Shit, they get all enamored in their fucking eyes and their brains like they want to get back. It just the mention of my name. You know why? Because I've always treated them with a certain level of class and respect.
I have a way I feel about them, but it would never come out. I would never come out and call their name and say they did this and they did that and
Mm-hmm.
blase blase blase. Now I'll speak on situations
Mm-hmm.
that happened to me in my life, but nobody else would know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I would never come out and just trash
Yeah.
someone I dealt with.
Yeah.
I would never do that, man, because
Never. Never.
I feel like I'm above that. That's beneath
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying?
I was just
That's
telling Ross that the other day. My ex-wife hooked me up on a business deal that has something to do with my fourplex. That's how much respect she has for me. She still talk about me at her fucking job. Left and right. Respect. Let me
Mhm.
tell you guys something, man. Just because the situation ends, that don't mean you don't have respect for a motherfucker, man. You
Right.
always it's the way you carry yourself, it's the way you exude yourself, and motherfuckers will respect you. Just because two people grow apart or two people don't see shit the same way, it is what it is. That's fucking life. Shit like that is gonna fucking happen. But at the end of the day, did you leave with your respect? Did you leave with your esteem? Did you leave with your prestige? Even if you don't talk to a motherfucker no more, does the motherfucker always hold you in high regard? I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers this shit. I haven't talked to Beverly Rose and I don't know how long, but I guarantee you, if I ever talk to her, she ever reach out to me or she talks about me, it's always gonna be in high regard. She ain't gonna shit talk me. There's nothing to shit talk because I've never
Right.
shit talked her. I've never dish ragged her. I've never did this. I've never done that. This is how you got to carry yourself. But this organization called Lions Den Boxing Nation Community or whatever the fuck you want to call it, sit there and say they're supposed to be about their black men and their black women, and they have all of these women in boxing. I wouldn't be surprised they're whoring these women out too, just so that these women could come to the okay. You want to come to the top? You want to get interviewed by this boxer? You want to get interviewed by this person? We spread them damn legs. We want to whore your ass out. They basically using what the white man used to against black women in slavery days. That's not
Right.
right.
Exactly. Exactly, man. So basically, my angle on my channel is cover sports, cover pop media, all that shit. I
Mm-hmm.
show you how it affects our people,
Yeah.
and I take a lot of shit from non-black people because they want to be able to live their life free of the ramifications of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And now my shit, I guess, is in the algorithm, so people are seeing it who aren't even subscribers to me, and they're getting upset because it's ruining their day. Like, I don't want to see that. It's only geared towards black people, and this is
Yeah.
the reason why I say donate to motivate. Because me, with my position, I can't even get monetized.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way I can even get some love is through y'all. I
Yep.
can't get I can't get my YouTube don't pay me.
Yep.
How monetization works is they play commercial breaks on your video and
There
they
you
pay you
go.
for them. But
Yep.
YouTube,
Ads.
but YouTube is getting free. They getting free commercial breaks off me. They
Mm-hmm.
refuse to pay me, even though they still put shit on my channel. They refuse to pay me because of my message.
Mm-hmm. That's why Quincy Royster, Surgeon of Death, y'all motherfuckers been on this channel forever, man. Donate to Be Like Jordan 6 times. Ron, your ass, you don't. I know your ass make good fucking money. You got that hellified construction job. Y'all motherfuckers make 70K or more. Donate to fucking motivate. If your ass got the money to drink 30 beers that night, trust me, that means you got the money to donate to fucking motivate. So let's donate to motivate, man, because we're giving you that heat and that fire. We separating the weak from the strong. Tom Ross is going to need this shit to carry him through until these 7 days are over. That's why we need the donation for motivation. It's very important. And I'm glad Jordan 6-time Bishop said Earl Spencer's junior ex baby mama talks bad about him and he don't talk down on her. You don't do that, man. A real man would never say nothing negative. And no matter how the relationship ended, that man could be suffering in fucking silence. He will never say nothing negative about the woman in public. I just don't do shit like that. I don't
Now,
believe in that because that is so non-masculine to do that.
now, and something we must separate. We must separate negative from the truth. Now, if
Yep.
she keep you away from your children, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But
Yeah, that's different.
you won't say, man, when I was with her, her pussy was trash. She
Mm-hmm.
ain't know how to give me head. I
Mm-hmm.
thought she was ugly. I
Mm-hmm.
lowered my standards. That's petty catty shit.
Yeah.
But if she's keeping you away from your children, and that's the only way you can fight back, that's one thing.
Yeah,
That's
Kanye
a
West
different thing.
situation is different now because she's trying to keep away from it and she's not listening to the instructions that the man is saying. I don't want these kids on fucking TikTok. That's something different now. Now you're talking about kids, you're talking about legacy, and you're talking about indoctrination and embedded theology of what that kid is going to look like growing up. And you're talking about these sickos because you got a bunch of, we talk about homosexuality in boxing. There's a bunch of pedophiles and molesters out there. That's why YouTube had to
On
do this
TikTok.
whole thing where they disable comments. You remember when YouTube started disabling comments? You wanna know why they
Mm-hmm.
did that shit? Because of these types of motherfuckers that go on these kid channels and all these other channels and start making these weird fucking comments.
Mm-hmm.
This is why he doesn't want his daughter on TikTok. And you have and if let me tell you guys something, man. I had a child like that, I would do the same thing. Man, I'd be on her. Man, I'd be knocking down her door. So she had to get me fucking arrested. Don't play with me.
And that's how you know that the average black person, and this is the reason why I get on channels like Hassan Campbell, because what they like to do is they like to play on your minds. They want to
Mm-hmm.
separate you from successful black people,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to say those are the enemies,
Yeah.
and we different. That way, and then they gaslight you into giving them money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but truth be told, is celebrities are human beings just like us.
Yep. And they fuck
And they
up
go
too.
through things just like us.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you critique them, make sure you critiquing them in a way you will want to be critiqued.
Exactly.
So a lot of content creators, what they do is they separate themselves from celebrities and they talk about them in a way that helps white people get rid of them whenever they want to. If
Yep.
we're so easily as a black community to say Kanye shit. Fuck Kanye. He a bitch. He blase. I just want him just to go away. When they make him go away, it's easy because you,
Mm-hmm.
as a people, you already calling from your own person, from your own community to basically be
Yep.
excommunicated and to be killed. When they
Yep.
know it's gonna be an uproar, when they know that this person is not, people aren't gonna take that lightly, they're less likely to do that.
Yep.
And when you are helping them destroy the character and the image of your own people, then that's how you see powerful guys go to jail.
Yep.
Do you think Bill Cosby goes to jail for something they can't substantiate?
Great
If it
fucking
wasn't for
point.
black people making all those fucking memes,
Great fucking point.
they couldn't substantiate that.
Mm-mm.
But he go to jail out of the court of public opinion. Then
Mm-hmm.
that black woman he hired got him out because they couldn't
Yep.
substantiate anything.
Yep.
They tried to hold him
Great
to a
fucking point.
standard. They tried to hold him to a standard they was holding nobody else to in a 2022 standard back in the 70s.
Great fucking point.
Back in the 70s, where he was fucking all those white girls and they all was using cocaine.
Yep.
So you
Great
can't
fucking
say
point.
I drugged you. You came here, you was high. We
Yep.
all was high. So how the
Great
fuck I
fucking point.
drugged you? Celebrities in the 70s, they all, not all of them, but the majority of them, they was going to Studio 54 and cocaine, black community, we don't really use it, but
Mm-hmm.
cocaine is a social drug amongst the elite.
And the main motherfuckers that was getting that shit going on is them white women, man. Let's be honest.
White woman. He
So
was
they can
giving them
fucking
drug.
party their ass off and
He was
black
giving
the fuck out. They wanted to black out in these parties.
he was giving them the drug of their choice, and then later on they saw that he was worth billions. They want to say that it was rape.
Yep. When that shit
You know what I'm
was
saying?
consensual as fuck. Probably.
They,
And a lot of these motherfuckers, I don't know. See, I can't speak to you motherfuckers because there's not too many things under the sun that I haven't done.
Bill
I have
Cosby
not done.
he was a top. He was the most commercial.
Mm-hmm.
It, what's the name was like? What's the name? Richard Pryor was the best. Bill
Mm-hmm.
Cosby was the most commercial. He made more money. He
Yep.
was the most commercial comedian in that time.
Yep.
He was everyone know him. These women wanted him, man.
Yep.
And we
Because he
heard the shit.
represented, you know why? He represented a strong, masculine, successful black man. He represented a powerful figure of what a black man should look like in society, and people gravitated towards that. Even the white women gravitated towards that. And here's the thing: I've been in clubs when I was in the military and shit like that. Every time I come down to South Beach, man, South Beach is an animal. If you got a woman, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna educate you guys. If you got a woman and she says she's gonna do a girls trip in South Beach, she's not coming back the way she left. Her face is gonna look the same, her visage is gonna be the same, but if she go around and go to South Beach on a girls fucking trip, your woman has been, and I'm being honest with you motherfuckers, your woman has been whored out because she's auditioning for new dick. She's tired of your ass, and she went to South Beach to get stretched the fuck out. South Beach is an interesting place. Every time I've gone down, especially around this time of the year, spring break, you go to Sobe, you go to all these fucking places, South Beach and all this shit, motherfuckers getting stretched the fuck out. It's Thoughtsville over there. But anyways, I've been in clubs in there. I don't want to name the clubs because I don't want this video, this live to get flagged. But I've been in clubs in there where women are coked the fuck out. There was a time when they had that flocker shit going on, flocker the fuck out, and you go in there to try to take a quick whiz. A woman go into the men's bathroom, and it'd be these white women. That's how I tell you they crazy as fuck. So I could speak to what Ross is saying, and they telling you right then and there while you taking your shit out and you about to take a piss. Oh, let me suck your shit and let me suck the piss out of it too. They like that, and you could tell they coke the fuck out. You could tell they out, and I'm sitting there like, excuse me. Yeah, I want to suck it and I want to drink your pee. I've had women tell me this shit. White women. I kid you fucking not.
If you fuck long
They
enough,
nasty as fuck, man. I'm telling you, motherfuckers nasty as
you'll
fuck.
realize there's people who have all types of fetishes that you will never believe.
Yeah. Yeah, she said, I
But
want to feel your pee. I want to feel your pee on my red hair. And I want to drink all your pee, and I want to suck all your man juice out of you. She said it just like that. I looked at her. I was like, this bitch is crazy. But she was coked the fuck out. And then there was that, what was that other one called? Molly? Them motherfuckers start popping them damn pills. And they in another space. Next thing you know, let me tell you something, man. This is why I say women have double standards, Ross. When they be on these drugs, they do all kinds of violations. When these women be on the Molly, they grabbing your dick on the dance floor. Let you grab their fucking ass. Let you grab their ass. Let you try to grab they pussy crotch area. See what the fuck happens to you. A bouncer will come blow your fucking ass out.
I've had women grab my dick on the dance floor, and they look pretty sober to me.
Yep.
So women violate all the time.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I take that shit with.
I'm not saying that the sober hasn't happened.
No.
I'm just giving the context of the Bill Cosby shit that you talking about.
Yeah. Nah. I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying. I'm trying to add to it that sometimes they don't even got to be high to do it. They live in a world where the rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
This is the reason why sometimes you gotta check. Some black women, they refer to black men as my nigga.
Yeah.
Not my man. When they say you, they saying you a nigga.
Yep.
Not me. They separating you.
Yep.
Because they felt like y'all both was nigga, then they want to say my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because basically what they saying is when a white man pull up, police, it's me and it's my nigga. He's a nigga.
Yep.
They don't refer to themselves as a nigga.
Nah, they don't.
Last time you heard a black woman refer to herself as a nigga?
You gotta check them.
They don't do that. They refer to you as a nigga.
Yeah.
I tell them, I'm like, man, I'm not your nigga.
Yeah.
I'm your man. If you can't say that, then we just fucking.
Yep.
That's fine. But I ain't no nigga because when this white man pull up, we all niggas in this car.
Yeah. There was this girl in South Beach, man. I was fucking her in the bathroom. She was calling me nigga and shit like that. I said slut.
White bitch?
I kept calling her.
White bitch?
No, black bitch. I was calling her slut the whole time she called me nigga. I call her slut.
Yeah.
I said, shut up, slut. Yeah. Head down, ass up, slut.
Yeah.
Bitch out. Slut. Every time she say nigga, oh, fuck me harder, nigga. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, slut. Just like that. You gonna call me a certain way, I'm gonna call you a certain way too. Why you calling me a slut? Well, stop calling me a nigga. And she learned real quick after a while because she didn't like being called that. You got to train these motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's certain little things. Yeah, when y'all finally get it, y'all gonna understand my I feel like my channel is a Kanye West Yeezy album. You might not get it now, but when you go through certain things in your life, you're gonna get it. Then you'll be like, oh, I see what Tom Ross TV doing with his channel.
Exactly.
I get it now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I get it now. And some people are starting to get it.
And you motherfuckers will get it eventually.
In the beginning, I had a lot of people saying, man, all you talking about is just your people. You don't talk about white people. You don't talk about Hispanic. And actually, he knows. People are like, all Tom Ross talking about is just racism.
Yeah.
They was telling me my channel wasn't going to be shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now they got to report my shit to hate on it.
Man, let me tell you something real quick. Because I feel like I still need to talk this South Beach shit, man. Because motherfuckers loving this shit, bro. All kinds of women are different. You got white girls, they crazy as fuck. They'll suck your shit now. They'll drink all your man juice. I've had plenty of them do it. You got Puerto Rican girls. I don't know what it is about Puerto Rican girls, but they crazy. If they wasn't crazy, I'd fuck with them more. They got something about them that's a little fiery. They got a little fiery spirit with their ass. You gotta, when you fucking them motherfuckers, Ross will tell you, you gotta pull their fucking hair and coop their ass up and beat the shit out of their ass. That's how you gotta fuck them. And then you got your black girls. These black girls that quote unquote, I've had this happen plenty of times in the club. They quote unquote don't do this, don't do that, please, man. Your ass sitting on the urinal stall sucking me up real fucking good, but you don't do this and you don't do that. Shut the fuck up.
They be capping.
They just don't do it to your ass if you a sorry motherfucker. They do it to the right motherfucker though.
Salute the Pello Latoba.
Yeah, you go. He donated $14, and guess what? We got $86 more to go.
My nigga
86 more to
calculated.
go, y'all.
My nigga
86 more to
calculated
go.
that
We
shit
can get
quick.
there. But Ross, I mean, it's funny. It's funny. Motherfuckers don't understand that shit. See, me, I have Ross has that shit. I have what's called the handsome man game. I have a lot of women come up to me. You look good. It's something about you, the way you carry yourself. I get this shit all the time in the club. It's something about you the way, man. I had a motherfucker. I'm gonna tell y'all this story. Real talk. I had a motherfucker that hit me blindside upside my head. I told my ex-wife this story. She still don't fucking believe me. And I'm telling you, motherfuckers, this shit. This motherfucker hit me upside my head. This is how I got this keloid knot here. I beat the shit out of that motherfucker though. I was bleeding like a motherfucker. It was this woman that I used to mess with way back in the day. She was talking about me to him, and I guess he was drinking and he was feeling some type of way. I didn't even know she was in the club, and I didn't know his ass was there. I didn't know they were fucking there. And I guess she was probably comparing me to him, because I'm telling you this, how malicious and conniving and diabolical these women are. She pick up all the fucking times to do that shit. I turn around, Ross. This motherfucker hit me blindside. He stunned me for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, I got stunned, but I had liquor in my system, so my adrenaline kicked in. My homeboy would tell you, I levitated this motherfucker and snapped him on his head. Dropped him on his head and snapped him on his head. I mean, this shit was so fast, but I was kind of dizzy because he hit me right here, gave me this fucking keloid. Well, I'm 5'10". He gave me this fucking keloid, and once he gave me that shit, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was stunned. My homeboy was like, "Yo, man, are you all right? Are you good?" And then old girl comes up to me, and then I saw her. I was like, "Why did you fucking do that?" I could hear her talking to the side of her mouth. I'm like, "Why the fuck did you do that shit? Why was you so petty to start talking about me in front of this dude? You know he's drinking. You know he's insecure. You know he's hot and bothered like grits. Why would you do some shit like that? What did you think was gonna accomplish from this?" And then she's sitting there, "Oh, because I wanted to tell him how much better you were." What the fuck?
Well, that's the reason. That's the thing, man. Niggas need to realize is express the emotions of women that you just have to express. The shit if you don't say, if you bottle it in, you're gonna fuck around and kill that bitch. Express those emotions. But you can't always just be expressing emotions and being so emotional, because what the bitch is gonna sit back and do is say, "Okay, I know how to push his buttons now."
Yep.
I know how to push his buttons now. Yeah, bro, how the fuck you know I'm 5'11" and a half? I'm 5'11" and a half. How do you know that, nigga?
That's your height, Ross?
Yeah. I'm not.
No, so Ross is a little taller than me. That's good.
Yeah. I'm not quite 6 feet, but I wonder how you know that, because he never saw me and you standing up straight.
Oh, okay. Well, Ross got me then. I'm 5'10", man.
Yeah, that shit crazy. And nigga say Ross 5'11.5. Yeah, nigga, how you know that?
Oh, he said
I
you told him before.
Oh, okay. Oh, I told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. That motherfucker hit me. That motherfucker hit me, Ross, man. I kid you not. That was about that's why I always implement my father's rule in fighting. Always hit a motherfucker before they hit you. But I couldn't see that blow because that was a surprise attack.
Hit you from the side.
And he wobbled me, man. I'll tell you, hey, look, man, you gotta admit shit. When shit happens, you gotta admit. I was wobbled, bro. My knee buckled. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
and then
but you ain't
I got up. I got up. I sobered up real quick. I said, oh, hell no. This shit ain't going to happen like that. All I remember is I got this motherfucker, levitated him real quick, dropped him on his head, because I wanted him to feel the same thing he did to me, man. That motherfucker's head went cock. Next thing you know, I see the bouncers coming and all that. And then old girl comes in the middle of it as I'm bleeding and pouring right here on this side and telling them, oh, it was because of me, because I was saying, this about him. And that's why I said that day showed me how dangerous women can fucking be, man.
Oh, man, it's niggas that's in the grave right now because of women, man. There's people that's in the grave right now because some of the women are said, man.
Yeah.
That's why you have to really be careful about the energy, the energy you allow around you.
But I got a double. You got to understand, Ross, that day I got double punishment because I went home and I told my ex-wife this shit. She didn't believe the story. She thought I was lying. So not
Yeah.
only had to deal with a fucking dizzy ass head, you man, look here, you go sleep on the fucking couch type shit. Man, I was passed the fuck out, man. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you, motherfuckers. A motherfucker can be so diabolical. They can cause shit for you even when you go home. They can cause shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the truth of that story. I haven't let that shit down. You ask her even till today, she think I'm lying. And I told her the letter of the law of the story because I had my homeboy that was there with me, and he could testify with what the fuck happened that night. And see, till this day, I got a fucking keloid. This keloid is my reminder. The shit used to be a lot bigger, it got smaller. I'm hoping it's gonna continue to shrink. I got this shit as a reminder of that shit that happened, man. And it was also,
Mm-hmm.
I remember it because it was All-Star break weekend because Sunday the All-Star game was being played, and I wanted to watch the All-Star game, but I had a fucking big ass headache. I had to listen to the plays. I had to
Mm-hmm.
listen to Kobe going off. I couldn't watch the game. This was the game when Kobe was dunking on people left and right like crazy. I had to
Yeah.
listen to this shit and I couldn't watch it.
This whole topic is why Troy is a movie. Explain that. What you mean by that?
If you talking about Troy with Brad Pitt,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
okay.
wanted to explain that. I don't know what he
Yeah, I
mean by
want you
that.
to explain. I want you to explain the concept behind that.
Yeah,
He
but anyway.
probably, I think, if I think I'm talking about, he's probably talking about the war they went through because of woman and shit like that. I think,
Oh,
excuse me,
okay, okay,
I
okay.
think that's where he's going with it
All
because
right. That
a whole war and shit like that was started over
makes
some
sense.
tail.
That makes sense. And loyalty because he, even though his brother was wrong, he couldn't stand to watch his brother get killed in front of
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I'm sitting here bleeding, man. I'm telling you, I've never
Yeah.
seen so much blood coming off my head, man. And every all I remember was hearing people say, "Is this dude gonna get up?" It looked like his neck was snapped or some shit, but he was laid out on the floor. And the next thing you know, I see myself in front of police explaining myself what happened. This is what they do with black men. You gotta always explain yourself. I said, well, I got hit first, self-defense. Motherfucker hit me. What you gonna do? Somebody hit you. What
Right.
you gonna do? And then all I remember is saying this was all because of her. I pointed at her. I said because of her. And that's why I stopped dealing with that motherfucker. That motherfucker was trifling. She was trifling
Mm-hmm.
when I was dealing with her then. Trifling still now.
The thing about it, that's the thing. And this how careless women be with their words.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they can miss me with all that positive the energy shit. Like, shut up, bitch. Y'all
Yeah.
so careless with y'all words. Y'all just be saying shit not knowing. If you say the right shit to the wrong nigga, you can get somebody killed, man.
Facts.
There's weak men that kill other men over women all the time.
Facts.
If he's willing to hit me in my head, he don't even know me over
Yep.
some shit you saying. What if he would have been armed?
Yep.
What if he would have been armed?
I've never gone back to that place, and it's in South Beach. I won't say the name. And I used to love going to that place because there was an Egyptian woman that man, I used to fuck the shit out of her at that place. That motherfucker was bad as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you. She was like 6'2", and she could do some tricks with her tongue. But anyways, that's another topic. It would have to be Patreon or some shit. Y'all have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have to pay $1,000 for that shit. But anyways, I stopped going to that fucking place after that whole situation. I never went back there. Never went back. Never went back because I said, you know what? If something like that could happen where I could almost lose my fucking life, I will never frequent back there ever again. As a matter of fact, I had stopped fucking with Miami for years over that shit. I was just
Mm-hmm.
fucking around, just chilling in Broward County and shit like that, in Fort Lauderdale. I stopped messing with Miami for a year because I didn't want to be around situations where something like that could happen again, if that makes sense. Because as you getting older, you know, and you got more shit to lose, you don't want to be around elements that can fuck you over. You just don't. He said, not trying to disrespect. He knows. What if a younger he knows a Tom Ross TV star who is? I don't know, because Tom Ross is a hell of a fucking boxer. I'm gonna be honest with
Yeah,
you. I think it's a stalemate. If
yeah,
Ross can steal off of me, with a with a shot, he got me. But if it
yeah,
comes to wrestling, Ross
yeah.
gonna have to submit.
Yeah,
Ross gonna submit.
I'm not a wrestler. I'm
Hmm.
not nobody someone can just walk up and just slam. Or I'm
Yeah,
not a wrestler, but me
yeah.
personally, I don't. I don't really think that way, bro. Like, I wonder why
Mm-hmm.
you sitting around thinking about who could win in the fight. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why you doing that?
Yeah, hey, he donated $100, so
Yeah,
I'll answer the question.
yeah,
And look,
yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
tell you
I'm
like this,
not.
Jordan.
No, no, I'm not mad at him. I'm just wondering why he's sitting around thinking about that.
He wants to know. Inquiring minds. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah,
If Ross get a hit off of me, I'm fucked. Because I don't do punching, man. If he can get
right.
that punch off of me, I'm fucked. He's a boxer, and I have to respect the boxer's ability. But if Ross let me get him in a hold, cancel fucking
You know,
Christmas.
ain't no I could do with that shit, man. Fucking niggas that got that retard strength and strongest foot, you can't do nothing with them niggas, man. Them niggas slam you, it's a
Mhm.
different type of slam.
Yeah, I
It's
could have
like
gone.
a
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I could have gone the boxer's route, but I have fought this dude, and I told Ross this story. I fought this dude. Richie could validate this shit. I fought this dude. I think I was in the what was it, seventh? Yeah, it was middle school, seventh or eighth grade. This is when those fights. Ross could tell you this shit. He could try to tell you a story too. This is when you would sit here and fight niggas for hours, man. You don't
yeah,
realize
man.
the time
I
that
had a
passed.
fight like that. They
Keep
keep
going,
breaking that shit
man.
up. Talk about go again.
Yeah, this
Like,
nigga,
nigga, I'm trying.
this motherfucker. I kept punching him, punching him, punching him. And then he kept slamming me, slamming me, It's like we both had unlimited energy. But what I realized is with every punch versus every slam, he had more energy than me. And I
Yeah,
was intrigued by how much more energy the slam was taking out of me versus how many times I was punching him. And it was, you could see that he was wobbling and shit, but it wasn't the same. So I said, man, you know what? You've changed my mind, man. I wanna know what's up with this whole slamming thing because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm dizzy as shit right now, man. I'm discombobulated, man. Like, and then he started. That's how I got into fucking wrestling. This motherfucker started showing me techniques. It was over at that point. At that point, I was like, oh, this is my favorite thing to do.
yeah,
So when I get in the altercation with a motherfucker, if a motherfucker try to throw a punch my way, I'm quick enough. I have enough quick reflexes enough to duck and get you from the legs. Because let me tell you something. Most niggas, and Ross gonna laugh when I say this shit. Most niggas, you find 10% of niggas don't have chicken legs. 90% of niggas got chicken legs. So you grab a nigga by leg and swoop his ass up. It's over. It's fucking over.
and they don't know how to. They don't know how to sprawl. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't know when somebody shoot for your legs. You control their head, but you got to move your. You got to kick your legs back.
Yep.
So it's a lot. It's niggas that do that in Chicago. They don't mean to hit you when
Mm-hmm.
they swing they punch. They swing they punch and they duck
Mm-hmm.
immediately. They shoot for your legs. So you got to grab them around their head and shoot your legs back out of
Yep.
their reach.
Yep.
Because if they slam you, that's all they know is to slam you and start whooping your ass while you're on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
So you got to grab them around their head and get
Yeah.
them in that choke, but you got to
Yeah.
throw your legs back and
Yep.
control them that way. And that's
Yep.
and if you go fight and you could do that, you could be you could win a lot of fights against them type of niggas like that. But if you
Yep.
can't, it's an easy loss.
It's easy. Cause I
It's
had
an
this nigga
easy
that was
loss.
300. He told me his weight. He was impressed that I was able to levitate him. He told me he was 360 pounds. And he said, how did you do that? I said, most of your weight is in your fucking stomach and your titties, motherfucker. You got chicken
Yeah,
legs.
yeah,
You got chicken legs. If you got chicken legs, I can levitate. I don't care. You can weigh 1,000 pounds. You got chicken legs. I'm levitating your ass.
yeah. Because if you grab somebody by their base, their legs, it's easier
Mm-hmm.
to pick them up.
Yep.
It's easier. I know that. And I don't even slam. I know that whenever.
And the Rock was my favorite wrestler. So I've perfected. Y'all motherfuckers need to see me in action with this shit, man. Richie tell you, I rock bottom niggas, dog. I
Yeah.
get your ass in the rock bottom, it's over. That shit is over. And I do that shit on the table, boy. That shit be lethal. Your back be
Imagine,
feeling like
no,
that shit
imagine if you
broken
do
and
that shit.
everything.
Imagine if you do that shit to a nigga on concrete.
Yeah.
You down there, you're down there kill him.
Damn right. Niggas be like, I remember one time, man, this shit was funny as fuck. I was in the military and I did it over my boy JR, man. I told Ross the story in the powwow. Somebody was acting up. They put JR in the fucking wall locker. I told these motherfuckers don't do the shit. And they didn't want to listen to me. And then he
Mm-hmm.
came over to me. He was like, yo, he knows, man. They put me in a locker. I said, I gave the notice for these motherfuckers to stop putting your ass in a locker. I said, tell me who did it. He was a big motherfucker too. He was like, what you gonna do? I said, oh, you about to find out what I'm gonna do. I told him just like that. You about to find out. And he kept talking. And see, this is the thing with people. While you talking, I'm moving. So while he was in the middle of his word, a rock bottom found him. He was levitated and rocked the fuck bottom. Everybody was like him. You didn't even let that motherfucker set up or anything. The fighting is not fair. You don't let nobody set up.
Nah, man.
While you talking, I'm rock bottoming you.
First of all, it's already established that this is a hostile environment.
Exactly.
So what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to acknowledge. I'm supposed to let you know I'm about to punch you.
Yeah.
I ain't punch you from behind. I'm right in front of you.
And that shit was
whenever somebody talking shit and it's a hostile environment, I always hit them while they talking.
He was in the middle of saying fuck nigga. He didn't get the nigga part out. He's like, fuck. Yeah, I just rock bottom him.
And that's the reason why I probably got so many. I got 8 broken jaws on my belt because I always be hitting niggas while they talking. Niggas like, bitch ass nigga, you ain't going. I'll be still on their ass.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, bro, this ain't the movies where you could get off this soliloquy and get away like the anti-hero. Like, no, this movie you get knocked the fuck out.
Because my father already told me the golden rule a long time ago. Always be the first one to get off because you don't know how strong that man's punch is. Because that man hit you with something and kill you. Always be the first one. Let them feel your strength before you feel their strength. That shit has always been ingrained in my head. So when I fight, you talking. If you see a little vein cut in this middle, I'll give y'all a little warning. If you see this vein, I'm not talking at that point. That shit show up. Your ass being levitated, man. Fuck the bullshit. Right. I ain't talking, man. Fuck that shit.
Right.
Your ass being levitated. Right. Fuck that bullshit.
When I'm in fighting mode, I get eerily. That's why I be telling people, if I'm talking back to you, if we talking shit back and forth, then I ain't gonna do nothing to you, man. You know what I'm saying? And if I do something, it's because I feel like you beneath me, and it won't be nothing too violent. Like I might slap you or some shit. Yeah. But if I get quiet, I'm thinking about doing real bodily harm to you, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about like fucking you up, like with my fist. You know what I mean? So if you talk shit like bitch ass nigga, and I'm not saying nothing, that means that if you get a certain proximity towards me, I'm gonna get active.
That's why I was laughing on YouTube when Tiki TV was going on a rant saying, nigga, I'll beat you. When you see niggas talk like that, they're making up. You have to understand, man. Me and Ross understand this because we're highly intellectual people. When you see people are bragging about something, they're making up for insecurity that they have. They're basically telling you their insecurity that they have in that area, that they're overcompensating and bragging for. You just got to be an enlightened motherfucker to know that. So when he kept, just off of a diss video that I did, if I ever see your ass in California, man, I'll walk past this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. He's tall as that means when I levitate him. Let me tell you something about taller people and bigger people. Every time I've levitated them, they always tell me they feel that shit worse. So the bigger you are and the taller you are, the more that shit gonna hurt when I do it. And his ass long, his ass was 6'5". Man, every bit of his 6'5" body gonna break when I levitate him. I don't give a fuck. You. If I see you, I'm gonna punch you. And motherfucker, before you could get that punch off, that basketball. A lot of these basketball players, they throw punches. They like Shaq. They don't know how to fucking fight. Before you get that punch off, you will be levitated. And once you hit that ground, believe me, a levitation of mine, that shit make niggas speak in tongues. You're gonna be speaking in tongues.
First of all, this is YouTube. Why are you so upset to where you making threats?
Exactly.
It's YouTube, bro. Like
if I ever see you, man, if I ever see you, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. When niggas talk like that, it's like, okay, all right, okay.
Hey, bro, chill the fuck out, bro. Like, what's wrong with you? Why? First of all, you put in a threat on the internet, bro. So this is evidence against you. Number one.
Yeah. I had a Mexican subscriber. They know what I'm talking about. This motherfucker. If you ever come to Cali, motherfucker, I want you in a boxing gym. First and foremost, why would I be in an element where you're at your best? No. If I come out to Cali,
not trying to say that Mexican motherfucker can't even box, man.
Yeah, I take everybody at face value when they talk stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
First and foremost, If I hit Cali, I'm gonna tell him, hey, let's go to MMA gym. That's what I would tell him. Let's go to MMA gym. Why you want to go to MMA gym? Let's go to MMA gym. That's where I want you. That's where I want you. I'll take you there. And then try to box. And then I'll say, okay, try to come at me and box then.
Right. So I can slam you in this hard ass mat.
Try to box. Try to box. Because I got the thing with the MMA, you know what I like about the octagon? You got so many things that will fuck a motherfucker up when you levitate them. The worst thing is not dropping somebody on their head in the octagon. And I don't know why these fighters don't do that shit. It's the cage itself. The shit is made of steel. I'm gonna levitate you on the fucking cage, bitch. You ain't getting up.
Slam your ass
I'm making that head hit the fucking cage. Fuck the bullshit.
Slam
so yeah, let's go to MMA gym. Let's go to MMA gym.
Slam him against the cage and drag him down to the ground. You know, and scrape their shit up too.
That's why I used to like wrestling in the 90s. Let me tell you why I used to like wrestling in the 90s. They were kind of MMA-ish with the Rock, Stone Cold them. Because when they used to go in them steel cages, they drop motherfuckers on the steel cage, boy. They levitate their backs and their heads on the steel cage. That's when wrestling was in its golden standard.
Or they jumping all off the top of the cage up to you, on top of you, and you on the table and shit.
Yep.
They would do all type of shit. I was like, it was a nigga named Mankind. This nigga used to be getting fucked up every Monday.
Man, this man, you could tell this man has lost like 8 pints of blood, man.
Mr. Foley. This nigga be getting whooped, man. But
he'll walk out bloody like a motherfucker, boy.
He had that one move that if he got that move on you, lost.
You
Mr.
lost.
Sacco,
yep.
If he got that grip on your throat, your ass was over with.
That's why I used to love when he teamed up with the Rock and it was Rocco and Sacco. Boy, that shit was Their dynamic was funny as fuck, boy.
He took the worst. I don't know who took the worst beating from the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was him or if it was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and man, Shawn Michaels used to get the shit beaten out of him, boy.
So I don't know if it was him or Shawn Michaels.
And I don't know how Shawn Michaels used to stand after that beating, boy. He would get the shit beaten out of him, boy. God.
And then a lot of those fights he'll still win because he had the sweet chin music.
Yeah.
I remember he kept catching Stone Cold because Stone Cold he used to just go into a fury of rage and just not think. He kept catching Stone Cold with the sweet chin music because then he can start running and start chasing you and he'll just be behind like a door and hit his ass and knock him out. I remember when he finally got a hold of that nigga, he tore his ass up.
There wasn't no sweet music then. And let me tell you something. My favorite Rock moment, and Rock was my favorite wrestler. I know Stone Cold was yours.
Yeah,
Stone Cold was Richie Rich's favorite wrestler too, by the way. But my favorite moment of the Rock was not a good moment. It was actually him being a casualty. It was a moment where Rock was talking that shit. He was like, if you smell, and then the Big Show came and threw that motherfucker through a glass. That shit was funny as fuck. He grabbed that motherfucker by the neck and threw his ass. He was talking shit about the Big Show, man. He was like, if I ever see that big jabroni, if you smell, that motherfucker grabbed him by the neck and threw his ass through a glass wall. That shit was funny as fuck, man. I couldn't stop laughing.
The thing about it is I used to like The Rock. I just didn't like him more than Stone Cold. But I used to like The Rock.
Yeah.
I like The Rock. I like Stone Cold. I like The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. And then when people don't, I used to double dip.
I feel you, bro. The 6-time Bishop. She said Triple H was my favorite. Triple H was a motherfucker, boy.
See, thing is, I ain't like those niggas, man. Generation X, I ain't like Generation X. Fuck Generation X. Because in high school, we had the Nation of Domination, we had the Wolf Pack, and we had Generation X. My team, we were the Wolf Pack.
Yeah,
we were slamming niggas in the hallway. Boom! That niggas be like, you know how the Wolf Pack used to do this?
Yep, I remember that
shit, I was Hollywood Hogan, boy. Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan always gonna be my favorite. That was my favorite when I was a kid.
There you go, Social Smith. $4.99. That's 15. We got $85 more left to go.
Hulk Hogan was my nigga.
There you go. There you
That
go.
nigga used to get up. He used to be like,
Yep.
my little brother nigga was Ultimate Warrior. Everybody who Ultimate Warrior was their favorite, they all went to jail.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Any nigga you know who Ultimate Warrior was their favorite, all them niggas went to jail, man.
Oh yeah, Ultimate Warrior, and I think that's
He
what
was
killed him,
cold, but
man.
he wasn't my
Wrestling
favorite because
killed him.
he was too wild. I ain't like nigga that was wild like that. He was
Ultimate
too
Warrior
wild.
just went. Ultimate Warrior fought. He fought like he was possessed, man.
Yeah, that nigga was crazy. That nigga was
He
on the
fought like
road.
he was possessed. But I'm gonna tell you right now, outside of The Rock, obviously Hulk Hogan, but the motherfucker that I used to like, boy, because his slapping ability. A lot of people like Ric Flair's slapping ability. Ric Flair's slapping ability
Now
was
Ric
funny as
Flair got
fuck.
the best. He got the best stain shot.
Yeah, Ric Flair's was the funniest, but the one that sting you the most was
Oh, Bret
Sting.
the Hitman Hart was fire.
Sting, when Sting used to slap motherfuckers, Sting used to slap you
Yeah,
continuously, dog. That
that
motherfucker,
nigga,
bing, bing,
that
and
nigga be slapping it.
Sting, when Sting slapped you, your chest got red. That your fucking
Yeah,
chest.
well, people don't realize that these niggas at the least be 246 pounds, all muscle.
Yeah.
When they slap you, they stop your heart for a second. These niggas, I had looked at. I seen Stingbo. They always put their weight and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this nigga 246 pounds.
Yeah.
I said, he all muscle. He don't look like he that big. Because usually when you're somebody 246 pounds, 5'10", they fat as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they like this wrestling talk.
I said, damn, this nigga.
We gonna keep this wrestling talk going. Shit, keep donating, Social Smith.
Yeah, but the motherfucker I used to like that nigga used to be sleeping on was that nigga Jake the Snake Roberts, but he used to be DDT. DDT. When he DDT your ass, it's over with.
Hey, Jake the Snake was pound for pound. Jake the Snake was pound for pound the most dangerous and the most scariest. He was Undertaker before Undertaker because he had that snake.
Yeah.
If all else fails, he's bringing that snake out. And this motherfucker had a rattlesnake of all fucking snakes. That's scary. That's why those fighters, when they see that snake come out, man, they submit. Automatic.
Yeah. And he not tripping. Bret Hart. Bret Hart was that guy, man.
Man, I used to love
Bret Hart had a sharpshooter.
Yep.
Bret Hart had a sharpshooter, but I'll tell you what, man.
I used to love Ted DiBiase, man, because Ted DiBiase would throw $1 million at you, man.
Oh, yeah, the $1 million dream. He put you at Coco.
Yeah.
The $1 million dream. But the only nigga, when I was a little nigga, the only nigga that I like, but I used to hate that I like him. Because back then, I was all about whoever it was.
Yeah, star. You ain't lying about Ravishing Rick Rude. Ravishing Rick Rude was a motherfucker, boy.
Back then, I was all about who was the star. But now, as I was adult, I realized there was one nigga that was flyer than Hulk Hogan.
Who?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, yeah. Macho Man was smoother, man. Oh yeah.
That nigga said, "I'm the cream of the crop," and he pulled some coffee creamer. Macho Man Randy Savage, bro.
Yep.
But we all gotta admit, the nigga that had the best come out music was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm gonna argue with that. I'm gonna argue with that because and the reason why I'm gonna argue with that shit was cold. Stone Cold had the most. He had the most. I'm gonna say it like this. He had the most intimidating music. When Stone Cold came out, he intimidated the fuck out of you. Right. But the most electrifying, if you smell, well, you hear that shit.
Yeah, but
that shit was so electrifying, dog.
But his shit was like a remix of Stone Cold shit.
You think so?
You didn't realize how similar their music was?
Their music was similar, but I think it was
the reason why I say Stone Cold. The reason why I say it's a remix of Stone Cold because The Rock ain't always had music. He was Nation of Domination.
Okay.
And he had then when he got his music, it was like Stone, but his shit had a little pizzazz. But you know what? I'll get you. The Rock did have some good music.
Man,
I used to like his music.
And then that motherfucker do what The Rock is cooking. Man, that shit That shit get the
I used to
stadium
always
going.
like when The Rock after he fought. After he
This
fought
motherfucker had the nerve.
and he
You know what I
walked
like
off.
about The Rock? He had the nerve to say the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment. That shit used to give me goosebumps when he said that shit,
Yeah.
dog. That shit give me goosebumps, man.
The Rock was that guy, man. The
He
Rock was that
was,
guy.
man.
He was that guy. Me, I like Stone Cold more, but I always people who like The Rock, I used to always be like, man, The Rock is that guy, man.
Man, let me tell you something. I used to love their
How
battles.
that nigga how he used to walk out. The Rock and Stone Cold had the coldest walkouts.
Yeah, they did.
The Rock had a confident, cocky walkout. Stone Cold had a walkout like he was about to go kill somebody.
Man, Stone Cold's walkout was straight masculine. It was straight. If you want to talk about the definition of masculine energy, Stone Cold's walkout. That shit was nothing but masculine energy, man. That motherfucker had you scared.
This nigga Stone Cold, every time he won, this nigga was all of a sudden he'll have 2 chorus lights. And he'll be guzzling. I'm like, bro, you can do this on TV.
He'll smash them together, and then all of a sudden he'll just start partying. And everybody else in the audience, you see a whole bunch of beers being smashed together, dog.
That nigga was doing that shit. You gotta understand, bro. Like, I could imagine being there in real life, bro. I could, in that time, that shit had been like being at a rock concert.
Man, that was the greatest time in wrestling. And you know why it was the greatest time? And it was the Attitude Era. Let me tell you why Vince McMahon had to get away from the Attitude Era. And a lot of people don't know this shit because a lot of people keep asking for Attitude Era to come back. It will never come back. From a business standpoint, I gotta explain y'all business-wise.
I know why.
Vince McMahon went public.
They're making themselves stars.
He became a publicly trading company. Once you become a publicly trading company, now you are under the FCC. See, when he was in Attitude Era, it was a private company, so he could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And then that's when he introduced his next guy, who I fucking hated, because once he brought that motherfucker out, wrestling went down the drain, and that was the motherfucker. You don't see me, you can't see me. John fucking Cena, man. I hated that man. Oh, I hated that.
Trash, man.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
Everybody in wrestling right now, you can't. I don't know what I don't know who none of them niggas is. Only nigga I know is Undertaker. Fuck everybody else. That's the only motherfucker I know. Fuck everybody else. They trash, man.
Yep.
I remember back in the day when I watched this shit. Whenever the WWF went to commercial break, you would switch the channel to the WWE and you back on.
Facts.
You back on. And next you know, you see Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, he became a heel. He became a bad guy. He had the black beard.
Yep.
With the yellow stripe. Hulk Hogan was putting in work. He was whooping niggas. What?
Man, he was beating the shit out of them.
Hollywood Hogan. What is this man?
Hollywood Hogan was pure evil.
If you ask me how he was better as a villain than he was, it just goes to show you.
A lot of people say that.
This is why he's one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. Most people, they only could do it one way. Like Stone Cold, he only could be the bad. He only could be the heel, right?
You know what I felt Stone Cold was?
The Rock only could be the cocky nigga. But
no. You got to remember, Ross. The Rock started out evil. He was part of the Nation of Domination. He was evil. Then he became good.
But that's one thing I don't like about the Nation of Domination. Do you want to know why the Nation of Domination was evil? Just because it was black, man. They made all the black people evil.
Yeah.
All the fuck they was doing, they was just holding themselves down. But they said these are the evil people in the WWF. And you have Farouk. Them niggas was whooping niggas.
Exactly. And The Rock went from evil, from Nation of Domination. I thought that was a smart thing for him to do to get himself in. Then he went into the persona of being a straight good guy, basically a baby. When you call the baby in wrestling, this basically you're the it guy. Stone Cold was what you call anti-fucking hero. He wasn't evil and he wasn't good. It just depended on the moment. And when Stone Cold was evil only against Vince McMahon. He was evil against the system. He didn't give a fuck about the wrestlers. It was Vince McMahon. He always wanted to beat the shit out of Vince McMahon, but there was wrestlers that kept getting in his way.
The coldest shit about the WWF is when I'll tell you, I remember this episode, Raw's War. Stone Cold put Vince McMahon in the hospital, and then at the end, Stone Cold came to the hospital, and he had a doctor's suit with the mask. He had the bedpan and slapped that nigga in the head with it, started whooping him. I said, this is the coldest episode of Raw's War ever, man.
Vince McMahon was scared of Stone Cold, man. Stone Cold always was coming after Vince McMahon. Rock had his moments against Vince McMahon, but it was mainly Stone Cold, man. That was Stone Cold's thing. And they would always bring a wrestler in his way. And the person who they brought in Stone Cold's way that became Stone Cold's biggest enemy, ironically, he became The Rock's biggest enemy, and I could see why Jordan liked him, was fucking Triple H. Triple H was, that motherfucker, he was a purebred. If you are a wrestler, you love Triple H. Triple H was a purebred wrestler because once he gets you in a hole, you can't get the fuck out. He gets you in between the legs, you are fucking done.
Triple H wide as a motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
he got the torque and the upper body strength. That's why, like his chest, Triple H chest is as wide as my shoulder to shoulder. That's his chest.
That motherfucker lived in the gym. Man.
It was big. But
and Triple H, and once Triple H gets you, he was just 1 inch shorter than The Rock. Rock was 6'5", his ass was 6'4", but they weighed about the same. They both was 260. And the thing with Triple H, man, Triple H get you in between them legs, you might as well cancel fucking Christmas. I don't give a fuck how big you are. That motherfucker's hold skills. There's only one other wrestler who could wrestle like his ass, and I forgot this motherfucker's name. This motherfucker, they kept recycling him from WWE to WWF. Damn, he was an Olympic wrestler, man. Y'all help me out, man. This motherfucker had so many holds. Kurt Anderson. Kurt Anderson is a natural bred wrestler. That motherfucker get you in a hole.
You think you know more about wrestling than me? I know this shit, boy. I know wrestling, man.
Yeah, but his name was off the tip of my tongue.
Yeah,
that motherfucker right there. That motherfucker get you in a hole. It's over.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah. There you go. That motherfucker get you in a hole. It is over, man. Dean Malenko was a good one too. Dean Malenko had 1,000 moves. He was a man of 1,000 moves.
But motherfuckers slipping, man. Motherfuckers don't remember, man. I go back, man. Because you gotta understand, when you came into the game in the 80s, you came into the game of wrestling golden years. In the 70s, there was an upstart. In the 80s, that's when they came to fruition. And in the late 90s, that's when it was at their peak. But
I didn't mind that Randy Orton took over for a brief stint after The Rock and the Stone Cold period. Randy Orton was a hellified wrestler, and he came from a thoroughbred family. The Orton families, man. Them motherfuckers, they could wrestle their ass off. Randy Orton was just he had that cotton hay type of fucking strength. That motherfucker pick you up, he gonna swing you from one side of the ring to the next side of the ring. And then you had that little motherfucker, I forgot his name, the one that used to wear the mask all the fucking time. That motherfucker get on top of the ring, he start doing those acrobatic flips on your ass. What is his name? Measy Moo or some shit like that. The name's not coming to me right now. Little motherfucker, he was like 4'11". But that motherfucker get you in them little leg locks, it's over. I'm gonna get you in them leg locks, it's over.
I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all sleep on. Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, boy.
Oh yeah.
When that nigga do that and then the muscle come up out the muscle,
it's over. It's over. I'm gonna tell you a wrestler. God rest his soul. He had some of the best techniques, and he had a fucking nice arm package. God rest his soul, he died, but that dude has swagger. Eddie Guerrero, man. Eddie Guerrero used to beat the shit out of motherfuckers, man. He come in there and beat you, and he would beat you off of pure strength. He'd always come in with like an Eldorado vehicle. You know those old school vehicles that had the tire on the back and they had the gold rims or whatever, and he always have a fine chick next to him. He was the one that made that shit iconic, where fighters would come in, wrestlers would come in, and they would have a chick on their arm. He made that shit iconic.
I see Social Smith knows. So you talking about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Yep.
Yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the truth. But guess who was the truth that nobody get credit to? Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that dude wasn't nothing to play with.
He used to come off the top rope on your ass. It was over with.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. There's a lot of motherfuckers y'all don't want to mention, and we're gonna go to the black ones. There was Booker T. I don't know if y'all remember Booker T. Booker T, boy,
Harlem Heat.
That motherfucker used to give you the black version of Ric Flair with the slaps, but his slaps was hard as fuck.
What made Ric Flair slaps fire is because Ric Flair, this is what Ric Flair used to do, man. Ric Flair will actually be losing a bout, and then he will start copping pleas, and a nigga start listening to him, and then he'll poke him in their eyes and shit and fuck him up.
Yep.
And then after he get that slap off, he start walking around cocky like. And see, it wasn't the slap of Ric Flair; it was everything he did after the slap. Like he'll do his hair like that, then he'll start walking around cocky, like he was never on his knees begging this shit.
Yep. You ain't lying. I'm gonna mention all of these motherfuckers, man, because a lot of motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. Mark Henry was the strongest man in the world, man.
Mark Henry was the strongest man in the world in real life. That's what niggas don't understand. That wasn't a WWF marketing thing. That nigga was really the strongest man in the world.
Yeah. Man, Jordan 6-time Bishop, I already told y'all what I thought about John Cena. John Cena fucked wrestling up, man. When his ass showed up, that shit went down the drain.
Man, all the month for that wrestling now ain't shit. And now all the black guys that got wrestling now, they all do homosexual shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Them niggas all be humping on each other.
Junkyard Dog was nothing to play with, man. I'm gonna start naming some other black wrestlers, man. Y'all had this big ass nigga, man. He couldn't wrestle for shit, but he was swole as shit. You remember Bobby Lashley? I think they used to bring his ass out just for show. They used to just bring his ass out for show. That motherfucker was big as shit. Another dude that I thought he could fight his ass off, but I was wondering what was wrong with his chest because his chest looked caved in, was Kofi Kingston. You remember Kofi Kingston? I'm like, why is there a separation between his chest? What the fuck is wrong with his chest?
Yeah, he looked crazy. I like him because his chest looked crazy. But but I bet y'all niggas remember this nigga right here while I say this. Oh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yep. Hacksaw Jenkins.
Jim Duggan. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Jim Duggan,
that
boy.
Was cold.
Man, there's a lot of motherfuckers, and God rest their soul, but there's a lot of wrestlers that passed away because wrestling. A lot of wrestlers suffer from like mental health, and they just suffer from a lot of bullshit, man. But I'm gonna tell you right now, another dude that we ain't talk about, and I hated this fucking dude, was fucking Big E, man. I was like, man, this dude right here, why they got this dude always playing the dude that's always betraying people, always backstabbing people? I couldn't stand Big E, man. He had a voice now.
At around that time, I had stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah.
I already stopped, so I don't know nothing about Big E. When Stone Cold and The Rock ceased to be the best and started doing other shit, I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
I stopped watching that shit. But yeah, man.
You remember New Jack?
Who else back in the day?
New Jack.
New Jack. Who the fuck is that?
New Jack was the black dude, man. He had the bald head. And
in the 80s?
His ring name was New Jack, man. He was part of the New Jack City crew.
Nah, I don't remember him.
Yeah, he was in Extreme. Well, I don't know if you watched ECW, but he was in Extreme Championship.
I never watched ECW.
Okay.
I never watched it, and my cousins get mad. Man, did you watch ECW? I said, man, I didn't watch that low class shit.
Yeah, because they had that dude Van Damme.
But back then, ECW was niggas that was really fucking people up back then. But I ain't watching because it wasn't
John Batista wasn't nothing to play with either. John Batista had a good frame on him, and John Batista had a lot of people scared of him, boy.
Oh, I'm finna fuck y'all up with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finna fuck y'all up with this. Do y'all niggas remember Goldberg?
Oh, of course. Man, let me tell you something. Goldberg had the Rock scared of him. The Rock was scared of Goldberg.
We used to do that spear.
Mm-hmm.
The dream match I always wanted to see was Goldberg versus Stone Cold.
Yeah.
That was the dream match.
Yep.
That was a dream. I always wanted to see that. Who else, man? Who else from back in the day, man? Um, we are. Did anybody mention Coco Beware?
Nah, we didn't mention him.
Coco Beware. You had Virgil. Remember, Virgil started out. He
Yeah,
was with.
yeah,
He was he was what's his name? Ted DiBiase assistant.
yep.
And then Ted DiBiase started talking. Ted DiBiase was talking to Virgil crazy, like, man, get your black ass over here. And Virgil used to always be getting mad. And then one time he finally broke away from Ted DiBiase. Everybody was happy.
Yep.
I remember that shit.
Man, I remember Ian Perry. That motherfucker was big, man. His ass went from football to wrestling, man. I was like, damn, they got this motherfucker the fridge. Fucking wrestling. That motherfucker used to slam motherfuckers left and right, man. And this dude was big.
I never remember him wrestling.
Yeah, he had a little brief thing. You know how they used to cross over. They did that shit with a lot of people. They did it with Floyd. They did it with a lot of different people. They did it with Shaq.
Those people, I never counted them.
Yeah, they come in, do a little stint. Mr. T, they come in and do a little stint. They even had Mike Tyson. Remember one time Mike Tyson come in to try to shook Stone Cold. Stone Cold was not shooken by that motherfucker. Stone Cold. Yeah. Vince McMahon was so afraid of Stone Cold. He brought Mike Tyson in. Man, Stone Cold looked Mike Tyson dead in his fucking eyes, man. I remember that shit.
Right, man.
He looked at him dead in his eye like, motherfucker, I ain't scared of you.
Yeah, man. That shit crazy, man. To be in high school at the time where wrestling was at its peak, you just don't understand, bro. Like,
yeah.
You don't understand the energy going from one class to another, knowing you got to be on your shit because you might just get slammed, bro.
Yeah.
Or somebody
what's his name? You probably stopped watching. You probably stopped watching wrestling during this time, but what's his name? Started wrestling. He was on Flavor of Love, and then he transferred over because he got with Jennifer Hudson, David Otunga. That's when I stopped watching. I remember that. That's when I stopped watching this shit.
And when I graduated high school, I stopped watching it. So 2001, I stopped watching wrestling. I stopped watching.
Yeah, they had him convert over into wrestling, and his professional wrestling career wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I'll give him that. The shit wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stopped watching it. I started watching that shit then. Who else we had? You had Doink. Remember the little clown nigga Doink?
Oh yeah.
You had Papa Shango.
Mm-hmm.
The nigga they be doing the voodoo old niggas.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that shit.
That nigga he killed Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior came back from the grave. Man, it seems to be crazy. Man, on wrestling when you was a kid, shit, unbelievable shit used to be happening. Niggas be coming back from the dead and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable shit was happening in the 80s in wrestling, bro.
I remember that shit.
Who else we had, man? We had somebody already said Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect, I didn't like him, but on the game, Mr. Perfect was cold.
Yeah.
On the game, on the arcade game, when you got the nigga in the perfect plex, it was over with.
Oh, there was no coming back from it.
You ain't getting when I put you in the perfect plex on the game, it's over with. You lost. Straight up.
Yeah, Junkyard Dog, man. I'm glad y'all mentioned Junkyard Dog, man. That was another dude. Rest in peace with Junkyard Dog. His ass passed away, but man, there was just a lot of motherfuckers, man. Now I haven't seen nobody mention him.
He knows. Razor Ramon.
Yeah, Razor Ramon. This motherfucker liable to cut your ass.
we throw the pig.
Yep. I remember when him, Hollywood Hogan, when they were older, him, Hollywood Hogan, Diesel, all them motherfuckers got together, man, and they started like creating ravage in the WWE. That's when Vince McMahon had bought out both companies, and they brought them over to fight The Rock and Stone Cold and all those motherfuckers. And they were beating up a lot of motherfuckers up until they got with Stone Cold and The Rock, and then they started hitting the wall. Then Razor Ramon was the biggest one that used to bully and hit people from behind. I remember that, man. That was funny as hell.
Always, man. You could not trust Razor Ramon, dog. You couldn't trust
him for shit.
And the Generation X, man, I hated them motherfuckers.
Oh, dog. I hated them too, man.
They was the dirtiest motherfuckers. The Generation
X, man, they got away with murder, and they would tell you suck it.
Oh, this shit got so if you did this we was doing so much wrestling that
Man,
the person,
suck it was a profane thing though. You do that, that's fighting words right there, boy.
no, we were doing so much wrestling in high school
Mhm.
that you could get suspended for doing suck it. Like that,
Yeah,
that ever, because we, like I said, we had the Wolfpack, we had the Generation X, and we had
yeah,
Nation of Domination, and we had a lot of different crews out in the Wolfpack. But if you was the Generation X and you got caught doing this, you got suspended for
yeah,
3 days.
yep.
They'll suspend your ass for that shit.
Man, listen, man. You listen, y'all talk about y'all sit here and you mention all of these groups, man. One of the best fucking groups in wrestling was the Four fucking Horsemen, dog. Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, J.J.
Yeah.
Dillon, Barry Windham, Tully Blanchard. Them dudes, man. The Four Horsemen come around, they beating your ass. It's a bunch of slapping and a bunch of suplexing, man. At the same time.
Yeah, to me, the weakest group ever was the Bushwhackers, but the greatest
Mhm.
was the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
The Legion of Doom was cold. Adam used to put you on the what's the name? The other dude
Mhm.
Hulk. He
Yeah.
just slam you. Man, they had the coldest finishing move, man. The Legion
Yeah.
of Doom. They used to have the shoulder pads with the spikes.
Yeah.
Those niggas was cold, boy.
Yep.
The 80s was
Yep.
crazy. The 80s was crazy. Who else was cold? Oh, Shawn Michaels was part of the Rockers. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
Shawn Michaels was part of the Rockers, and then they split up. There was a lot of people that was tag
I
team.
used to love I used to love the wrestling. I used to love the wrestling dual teams. And the reason why I used to love the wrestling dual teams, because you remember they used to have the Continental belt, and then they
Yeah.
used to have. I used to just love the tag teams, man. Those used to be some of the best fights. That's when you had Rocco and Jocko.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you had Bret Hart with Owen Hart. I used to love those fights, man. Those wrestling duels. I mean, there was a lot of tag teams that were crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite ones was the Hart brothers, man. Them dudes, they used to do acrobatics. They used to fly in the air. When they get you in the air, it's over. And they were notorious for cage fighting. They get you in that cage, somebody's walking out bloody, somebody's walking out beat down, man.
That's the thing about Bret Hart, man. And when you watch Bret Hart, somebody gonna end up bloody, bro.
Yep.
Ain't no such thing as a Bret Hart fight where niggas don't end up bloody.
Now,
Always, never failed,
now
bro. And then and that's another nigga. If he puts you in that sharpshooter, it's over with.
it's over. It's
It's
over.
over with, bro.
Yeah.
If he puts you in the sharpshooter, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching it live when Owen Hart
Now
died.
Rock's cousin had the nastiest move. We talk about the Rock, his cousin had I would hate to be on the receiving end of his cousin's ass, Rikishi. Rikishi put that ass on you, it's over. You remember that shit?
Bruh.
That motherfucker will sit on you with that ass though.
This is that I still hate that. I still hate that move because I feel like that was the gayest move ever, man. And think about it. If you was a wrestler, you had to let him do that shit because you was
You had
getting paid.
to, and he probably farted your shit and everything.
You had to let him put his face in your ass.
Yep.
You had to let him put his ass in your face, man. And this nigga used to be running from
I
one
remember
end.
there was a fight where The Rock was fighting with Rikishi. They got Triple H ass up real good, man. And Triple H was running his mouth. The Rock grabbed him by the leg, pulled him down. Triple H was screwed at that point. Rikishi already was in motion. He was running, and he put all that ass in Triple H's face. That shit was funny as fuck, man. And then The Rock walking out, spitting, talking trash. You know, saying all that bullshit.
Now, when I think about it, there was always some suspect shit too in wrestling. They had a nigga named Goldust.
Oh yeah, Goldust, man.
Dusty Rhodes' son, they turned him into Goldust.
Yep,
Goldust used to be doing.
I was just gonna mention Dusty Rhodes, man. Dusty Rhodes. I think Ric Flair was like the next iteration of Dusty Rhodes, but Dusty Rhodes was part of like that old school gold standard. And then his
Dusty
son
Rhodes was the guy. He was the guy that they built the WWF off of.
Yep.
He was the Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan. He was the American hero, the good guy. And then Hulk Hogan became the guy in the 80s.
Yep.
Cause I remember back in the day, the shit, the WWE, the WWF, it wasn't even on TV. It was you had to my grandma, she used to record the shit. It was just on cable only.
Yeah.
It wasn't syndicated. It was on
Yep.
cable only.
Yep.
And we had tapes of the shit. And then I remember like 80, I'll say about 87, 88, when my sister was born, that shit
Yeah.
started to be on TV every motherfucking day, bro.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was little in the early 80s, that shit wasn't on
Yeah.
TV like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause Dusty Rhodes had two sons, right? He had Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, and then he had the younger son, Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes used to be a shit fucking talker, man. I remember when The Rock kept coming back to the new generations. The Rock beat the shit out of his ass a few times, man. That shit was funny as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the living block out of him, man. And Cody Rhodes, he got a fine black wife. Her name's Brandy Rhodes, by the way. She looks good. I give her that, and she's in wrestling too. But Ric Flair, man, his daughter, she developed. I remember because my dad, like I told you, my dad still watch wrestling to this day. He still loves the shit. I saw his daughter doing the slap, and I said, man, that you got to understand what that did to me. I was like, man, for that to pass down to generations like that, and she was doing that when she was fighting the female wrestlers, and it's the way she did it. She did it like he did it to them, and you could tell when she was slapping them girls will hit that ground, man. That shit was funny as fuck. I thought she slapped the girls harder than him slapping the male, but it's obvious because he slapping motherfuckers bigger than him.
Bruh. Nobody used to talk shit in the post conference like Ric Flair.
Oh,
he said alligator wearing, Will and Dillon, money making machine, Ric Flair. Woo!
You gotta remember, you can't forget styling and profiling.
Money making machine, Will and Dillon. I said, this nigga talking cash money shit. And that's why I realized. Now, when I look back on it, women have always liked super confident niggas that talk shit because all his fans, majority of his fans was women.
Yep.
Ric Flair was the first nigga who most of his fans were women, and he wasn't even swole like that.
Nah.
Ric Flair never got swole like the rest of the niggas. He just got like decent shoulders, decent arms. He never got all ripped like
talking hella shit, man. That motherfucker talking hella shit.
He talked so much shit, bro. The bitch was on this nigga. This nigga said styling and profiling, Will and Dillon, alligator wearing, crocodile strutting, money making machine. Woo!
Yeah, you think I like the shit talk, man? That shit talking be getting you, boy. Yeah.
That nigga got me in trouble because I used to be saying that shit and I know what I'm saying. But then another nigga got me in trouble. Macho Man, Hulk Hogan got me in trouble, man, because every time that nigga used to be like, the Hulkamaniac's gonna run wild on you, I used to always rip off my shirt.
Yeah.
I used to always, whatever shirt I was having, I used to rip that bitch up. And then I used to, my mother used to be like, if you do that shit again, I'll whoop you.
A lot of people didn't catch that. I used to do that shit. If y'all really were following my channel, I used to do that. Let me do that Hulk Hogan again. I used to do that when I used to talk. That shit used to get motherfuckers.
That's
man.
what Hulk Hogan, man.
Hulk Hogan had Hulk that shit. Man.
Hulk Hogan used to be like, the Hulkamaniac gonna run wild on you. Then he'll be like, he'll tear all his shit.
Yeah, when he started doing that shaking shit, and his body starts shaking. But before he get to that point, if he go like this,
you do that first.
What you say? It's over. You know the fight is over.
You do that first
at that point.
You do that.
Everybody had their little iconic moves, man. That shit was funny, man. Wrestling.
Whenever he knock you, make you incapacitated. He do this. Then he do this on this side. Then he run. Then he do the leg drop. Boom!
Yeah, when he stretch that leg. If he go to the ring and go like this, and then he get to that leg drop, it's over.
Once he drop the leg drop on you, that's it. It's over with.
It's over with. You might as well. And I think the Rock's end move was copied by Hulk Hogan, but it was tailored by him because the Rock did the same thing where he would swing on the rope but The Rock would get you either in a rock bottom or some shit like that. But I think he
No,
used the same
whenever he
concept.
swung on the ropes, it wasn't the rock bottom because he'll
Yep.
wait for the rock bottom. It was the
Yep.
people's elbow.
Yeah, the people's elbow.
When he
There
did
you
the
go.
people's elbow, he'll swing on the ropes. Then he'll be like
Yep.
1, 2, boom. Then he'll throw the
Boom.
elbow in your hand.
Yep. But I think the phonetics of it, he saw the phonetics of what Hulk Hogan did, and he curtailed it to his, because he became, if you think about it, just like how Dusty Rhodes didn't transition to Hulk Hogan, The Rock became the next Hulk Hogan.
He did.
And then I remember when the both of them fought.
Stone Cold became the next Macho Man Randy Savage.
He
The
became
Macho Man Randy Savage. He always had a problem with the WWF.
Yeah,
he always had a problem
because Macho Man was never under Hulk Hogan. Macho Man stood out as his own alpha male, man. He was his own.
And then
that's what people understand. He was his own.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That nigga said, I don't like the decision they made because I'm the cream of the crop. Out of nowhere, he put out a coffee creamer, and did like this and flex.
Yeah.
And he kept talking. He kept pulling out coffee creamers out of nowhere.
Yeah, because his flex game was automatic, though.
I don't know who's the flex harder, because I think Ric Flair. Not Ric Flair. I think Flair got so much. Ric Flair. I think he got so much love.
Shit talking in that.
I think he got so much love because he was loud. But Macho Man was cool, calm.
When it came to shit talking in that era, I think Ric Flair and Macho Man was a tie.
Man, because Macho Man, he was just cool with it, but he was saying so wild shit. He'd be like, he'd be like, Hulk Hogan would tell you himself, "I'm the cream of the crop."
Yeah, but in Attitude Era, it was The Rock. The Rock, his shit talk. Rock shit talking that shit used to unnerve. That shit was funny as fuck. That shit used to unnerve and piss off wrestlers. Matter of fact, when I'm done with this live, motivate me. I'm gonna go back and listen to some of the shit Rock said real quick, and listen to him shit talk some of these wrestlers, man. He used to make me laugh the way he used to denigrate these wrestlers, man.
But
I remember there was an episode where he was talking about pie to John Cena, and he said he told John Cena, the Rock loves him some pie. And then John Cena's stupid ass said, "Oh, I love pizza too." He said, "I ain't talking about." He started looking at the girls. "I ain't talking about that pie." Right. That shit was funny as fuck. It was like that shit went over John Cena's brain, dog.
The thing about the Rock,
he was talking about pizza.
The thing about the Rock is he ain't just talk shit just to the wrestlers.
And Stephanie McMahon, and when he said that, Stephanie McMahon, because Triple H got mad, Stephanie McMahon got close to the Rock, and then the Rock grabbed her and hold her up, and he said, "I ain't talking about that pie." Like that, and then she started, getting all blushy and shit. And then Triple H wanted to fight his ass, though. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And then John Cena was slow because John Cena caught on. He was like, "Oh, you talking about that pie?" He said, "You see, I can't believe we left wrestling to these fucking jabronis." That shit was funny as fuck.
The thing,
he called him a jabroni, though.
The thing about the Rock, he talks shit to everybody. He talks shit to me. He talks shit to everybody. If you was just an announcer, he talks shit. He'd be like, "Hey man," he's like, "So what are you thinking?" It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He used to
He said, "What's your name?" It doesn't matter what your name is. You just gotta know what the Rock is cooking.
That's it. And there was you just mentioned his name, Mankind. He treated Mankind, even though they were on tag team, he treated Mankind like a rag doll. He treated him like a fucking,
well, he had to.
Like he was blessed to be on the same team with The Rock, man. That shit was funny as fuck. The Mankind started, "It doesn't matter what you have to say."
Right.
He's like, "Rock, can I be?" And then The Rock would do like this with your third. A lot of my antics, y'all don't know that shit was inspired from The Rock, man. That's how I got so funny, man. I used to watch this motherfucker. This motherfucker said when Mankind started talking, he was like, "With your third grade English, it doesn't matter." That That shit was funny as fuck, man. He used to tell the motherfuckers, "Shut up."
Exactly.
Woo, that shit was funny, man. I used to draw a lot of inspiration from The Rock, man. God, like this motherfucker is from because he embodied that Florida spirit, man. Them Florida niggas to talk shit. That motherfucker talk shit, man.
Yeah, bro. That nigga used to be talking, man.
He was a bona fide shit talker, man. I used to love that shit, man.
Actually,
But yeah, man.
Another person who was an actor but could have been a wrestler full time if he wanted to, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Mr. T. Oh, he was when he was on Rocky. He was talking cash money shit to Rocky.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was talking cash money shit.
He said, I ain't gonna throw the fight at the rest of them bubs.
and he said, what do you like? Pain. And they asked him, how's this fight gonna end? Pain.
Wait. No,
pain. And more pain.
No, they said, Couple Lane, what's your prediction for the fight? And then he said, pain. That shit was so funny, bro, because he beat the shit out of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he did. He beat the shit out of him for real.
Bro, that was so. I used that shit too. I used that shit before for the Mikey Garcia fight.
I remember.
I knew Mikey Garcia was gonna get the shit beat out of him, man.
Yeah.
He would have got stopped. Think about this. This goes to show you. This goes to show you that pride is dangerous. Pride is dangerous. Mikey Garcia should still be effective. But because they didn't stop that fight and they made him last and get that ass whooping like that, now he's trash now.
Man, he is trash. He lost an exhibition bout.
to who? To what's the dude name?
The dude that fought Manny Pacquiao.
To an old ass fighter.
Yeah.
He lost an exhibition fight. So when he did that, I knew it was over with. And then motherfuckers like Errol Spence couldn't stop him. Errol Spence in his career. That's what happens when you don't get. It's the reason why Kell Brick went down the way he went down. When he just stopped fighting, he was like, man, if I don't stop fighting right now, if I don't stop fighting right now, my Errol Spence is gonna end my career, man.
Mm-hmm.
When he just took that knee, people are like, oh, he went out like a bitch. Like, no, he knew what he was doing. He still wanted to fight for a couple of more years.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Jordan 6-time Bishop said Canelo Alvarez needs to be in the WWE because he's not a real champion. If Canelo went to the WWE, they wouldn't let Canelo come out finessing. Vince McMahon would have situations where Canelo would have to get his ass beat. And it would be rightfully so. The person that I would want to see beat the shit out of Canelo is Big Show, man. I would like Big Show to grab him by a chokehold and throw his ass out of the fucking ring, man.
I want to see a nigga get tombstone.
And get tombstone by Undertaker.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie though. Woo. I always go in and out with Undertaker because whenever he beats somebody that I like, I fall out of love with him. But Undertaker, he got one of the most iconic finishing moves in wrestling history, bro.
Stone Cold, The Rock, all of them said they were legit. It was something dark about Undertaker. They were legit scared of him. They were legit scared of him, dog. In the wrestling ring, they were legit scared of him.
Yeah, because they never knew whether he was faking or not. Probably, bro, you do know when you do this move, you can't really slam my head in the ground, right?
But let's be honest. His brother wasn't too much of a far cry. Kane was lethal too.
Kane was nasty, bro.
That dude was lethal too, and he had. Him next to Big Show, he had that nasty ass chokehold. He get you in that chokehold, it's over.
The worst shit I ever seen in my life is when they made a handicap match. They gave Stone Cold a handicap match. They made him only fight with one hand, and he had to fight against Undertaker, and he had to fight against Kane. And they were slamming that nigga. Man, that was fucked up.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Vince McMahon, a dirty nigga.
Vince McMahon could not stand Stone Cold, man.
They were slamming it. But you know what?
That match broke Stone Cold's leg.
What people don't realize is this. Stone Cold was still fighting them niggas, though. He was giving them. He got up with their glamour, but they started slamming that nigga.
Yeah. He did the best he could, but at fight, he ended up breaking his leg. Vince McMahon broke his leg, and I remember the next week, Vince McMahon's limo guy, when Stone Cold was coming into the ring, because that was the time when Vince McMahon was kind of forcing wrestlers to do what they didn't want to do, forcing them into matches they didn't want to be in and shit like that, especially if he didn't like them. He forced Stone Cold to come back the next week, and then Stone Cold walking around in a cane. Vince McMahon's limo guy hit Stone Cold, man.
Yeah,
why he was in a cane, dog? Like this motherfucker.
Well, people don't realize wrestling was so fire. You knew this shit was fake, but the drama of it kept you coming back. It was so.
It kept you coming back. Now I'm gonna tell you when Stone Cold got advantage over Vince McMahon. And I used to love these moments because The Rock was like that. Was when they allowed them to become judges or the managers, the general manager. When Stone Cold was general manager, that shit was fire. Because that motherfucker was making matches that only he wanted. He put Vince McMahon in a match where Vince McMahon had to fight 1 versus 3. And the 3 people he put Vince McMahon against, he put Undertaker, Kane, and the Big Show. They were tossing
back. He got him back.
They were tossing his ass around like a rag doll.
At that point, I had stopped watching at that point.
Yeah.
He got him back. This one I said Stone Cold was the greatest of all time. They was getting ready for the Royal Rumble, and when they get ready for the Royal Rumble, they be having all the wrestlers on the ring and shit, call them out who are gonna qualify the Royal Rumble. But Stone Cold came out and he stunned everybody.
Yeah.
You remember that thing?
He did. I remember that shit.
Stunned everybody. I said, "Oh, he the greatest of all time."
Yeah, he stunned everybody. Walked
everybody
out.
Was like,
and walked the fuck out.
I said, "Oh, this shit cold." They made Stone Cold. They gave him a plot because a couple of weeks before that's when he got fucked up by Undertaker. So they let him get his face back. And he stunned everybody.
Yeah. He Stone Cold did what he wanted. That's what I liked about him. He if you are a rebel and you just like to do what the fuck you want to do and you don't give a fuck what anybody gotta say, you love Stone Cold. Stone Cold just went by his own rules, man. That's what made him stand out.
That nigga stunned everybody, man. I said, God damn. I was like, anybody gonna put a stop to this nigga? That nigga was
and it was like, you gotta understand how much energy you gotta have. He stunned like 24 wrestlers, man, and he walked out.
And shit with the same strength. Then when he
got first, he kick you in the stomach. First, he kick you in the stomach, then stun you. Kick you in the stomach, stun you. I was like, how many times he gonna do this?
And thing about it is, he always do this and never fail. When he get to the end of the tunnel, he always turn around and be like, "That's funny."
But the one that gets everybody before he gets to the tunnel is when he gets on top of the ring and he just smashes the beer together. He goes from one side to the other side to do it.
Yeah,
he do all 4 sides, and then he walks out of the ring.
And it got to be somebody that's right there because he don't have beers in his pocket. Somebody throw him.
Somebody throw that shit to him.
He do that for all 4 corners. Then he walk, boom, 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 boom. They be like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you drink that much beer. You drink that much beer in that fast pace, your ass gonna get drunk, man. Shit, you basically beer bonging.
That's the only way to get fucked up off beer real quick if you drink that shit fast. That's why them college kids be shotgunning that shit.
Yep.
But I'll tell you this.
I remember that shit in the military, man. But this live,
that's the worst shit to be drunk off of is beer.
This live was real. We got, I did the numbers. We got $140 of donations.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. We had an initial goal that was met that we extended because only one nigga did it. But I'll tell you what, man. I'm proud of y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Why? Because y'all normally get all this good content and don't get nigga shit.
Yep.
So I'm proud of y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna try to make these lives better. We're gonna rehash some shit. But thank y'all for coming out. And I will be back in a week.
Yep. And once Ross is back in a week, we're gonna be ready to go. We gave y'all a hell of a fucking live, man. Me and Ross gonna split this 140, 70 each. It was close to the goal, but that just means the next live we gonna shoot for 230 to balance the shit out. So we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you everyone that donated. Jordan, 6 times Bishop, Social Smith, my boy EJ88. You know what I'm saying? He dropped some. Thapolo, appreciate the donations. This is what we asked for, man. You guys to continue to bring that heat and fire. Jordan Bishop said, you know what? And I got to give him credit. He said, you know what? Fuck that. I want He Knows and Tom Ross to be talking about that shit. So if y'all motherfuckers ain't coming and giving it, fuck that. I'm gonna sometimes it be like that. One person is like, fuck that shit. I want these motherfuckers talking about this shit. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So we really appreciate that. Every week now from here on out, we're gonna be expecting tomorrow when we go live, we're gonna be expecting again. So y'all just need to understand the expectation is there. If a man work, a man shall eat. So we appreciate the donations. We appreciate that. But make sure it's Cash App, preferably, like you guys do. Make sure you Venmo. I'm gonna be making sure in the banner tomorrow, starting tomorrow, both the Cash App and the Venmo is gonna be there. So you guys can send that shit separately. You know what I'm saying, to both of us. So we get it right in real time. It will be even better that way. So we appreciate y'all. We gave y'all a hell of a show. I mean, we talked about everything. We talked from Ross's channel, both of his channel situations, from Tom Ross TV Raw to Tom Ross TV, the haters and the trolls hating on this man's success and how this man is moving. Then we transfer it into homosexuality and boxing and cleaning up the fucking streets. And make sure you guys don't hit the like, don't hit the thumbs up on any of these channels, because when you do that, you're basically ingraining and you're infecting your own homosexuality tendencies that you didn't know you had. Basically, you bi-curious and you didn't know you was fucking bi-curious every time you hit the like. So just remember that and keep that in mind. So when you hit a like to one of these channels, you're just hitting the like of your bi-curious ways, and you need to pray that off. You need to pray that demon off. You need to pray that possession off. You need to get yourself back together. And then the last element of it, we talked about wrestling, and we still managed to infect you guys and talk about Kanye and talk about some conscious material. So if you guys want this kind of conversation once a week, which we see is happening, Jordan allowed it to extend next week. This is like a TV series. You want another season? You got to keep donating for the extension of it. So we're going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep coming at you motherfuckers like a purebred asshole about donations, because I see that the only way you motherfuckers can listen is if I treat you like women and be a straight asshole about the shit. So y'all motherfuckers need to donate to fucking motivate. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great fucking Saturday. And today, Tom Ross TV was just simply Tom Ross TV. But make sure you guys go to Tom Ross TV Raw and Tom Ross TV. Drop comments in the channel. Show that brother love in the community post. Show that brother love on the videos and say, Tom Ross TV, we can't wait till you get back. Because it's good to also say those things to motivate the content creator to continue to give you guys the ability to separate the weak from the strong. Make sure you guys pay attention to my shorts. Make sure you guys hit the views on the shorts and go from there. Okay, Big Spell 1. That's it. I'm glad I was talking my shit. This motherfucker donated $9.99. There you go. Now we at 150. That's what I'm talking about. We hit the 150 marker. That's what I'm talking about, man. Good shit. So I appreciate you listening in. Those waves are looking wavy, dog. You got that 360 going on. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all. We're going to continue to give you that heat and that fire. We're going to continue to separate the weak from the strong. We see that you guys have a need for us. So we're going to continue to do that. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to have some interesting talks. Me and Ross, we got a powwow so we can prep for tomorrow. Y'all have a great Saturday. Make sure y'all have fun, drink, but don't drink too fucking much. Don't party too fucking much, because guess what? We're going to want some of your donations tomorrow. Y'all be easy. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great Saturday. Peace.
Peace, bro.